And we are live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream here on the Film Stock channel. It is Wednesday, December 10th. It's almost Christmas. Christmas season is in the air. The holiday spirits are getting up. And it's 6:04 p.m. I'm a few minutes late, to be honest, to be truthful. If you're a regular here in the streams, one of those dang pesky trains was coming by in the background. And I was like, I'm not starting with that noise in my stream. But as always, Diet Dr. Pepper. Let me crack this open. It's delicious. It is the beverage. Delicious stuff. And we're here. We're hanging out for who knows how long. Hour 45. No problem. Had to get that in there. It's been a while. If you know, you know. But welcome in. Good to see you guys here. Hit that like button. Helps out tremendously. Fire off your questions in the chat from, the world of movies and TV to what's going on with Stranger Things right now. Season 5. We have Volume 2 theories. We've got character posters. You got a new Knives Out movie that I've seen. There's tons to discuss as we approach the end of the year. And if you hear any noise in the background, Cam is in here right now editing, and she does have a bit of a cold. So if you hear, a blown nose, some typing, some editing, it is Cam. So it's not a ghost. Don't worry. There she is. We share an office space for those who did not know.
Sorry, I gotta work. And the world gave me a cold this morning.
It did. Yeah, so I'll get one soon.
Hey.
But no, it's good to be here. Thank you guys for being here. Of course, hit that like button, subscribe if you have not. And let's get down to it. Let's get down to business. All right. William was in here earlier. I see we got a lot of folks in here earlier already, which I love to see. Escape from Camazotz and The Bridge will be the best episodes in the whole show. Well, you know who's directing those episodes or co-directing one of them, fully directing the other? Sean Levy. So I'm not going to argue with that at all. Anyone get tickets to see the finale in AMC movie theaters? I have no intentions of seeing the finale in theaters. And I know that might be crazy to some of you guys. But I made a video, I have made a video. I haven't posted it yet. It's a short where I'm actually talking about, if I prefer or if I'm going to see it in theaters or not. And I posed the question to everyone who will watch it. And that's going up later today. But I personally am not going to theaters. Reasoning being, number one, I like to watch the show in a controlled environment where I know I'm not going to have the experience ruined by someone else who's on their phone or talking over the show. And secondly, it's a show that I've watched on streaming since it came out. And so I want to continue doing that, right? I'm comfortable watching it at home. Also, I want to be able to share my reaction with everybody. And I wouldn't be able to do that if it were on, if I saw it in theaters for the first time. So the only pro to seeing it in theaters, in my opinion, is seeing the show itself on the biggest screen possible with the best sound. But other than that, I'm very for watching it how I've always watched it, if that makes sense. We got Starcourt in the chat. Shout out Jacob, modding the chat as always. Welcome in, everybody. What's up? What's up? How we doing? Thank you guys for being here. Of course, Super Chat does guarantee that I can answer a question. It's a huge way to help support the channel. There's no way to be able to get to every question, comment, concern. Super Chat's the way to go to guarantee I can get to that. I'm playing Minecraft right now. I hope you're having a fun time doing it. Merry early Christmas. Yeah, only 15 days to go. Josiah says, who do you think is going to die now that Volume 1 is out? I think I'm going to do an updated predictions. A lot of people have asked me to do that. I'm still leaning 11, though. That's been my prediction coming into the season, and I feel similarly today. What's good? What's good? Welcome, welcome. Only 15 days to go. That's right. Good to see everyone in here. Where are we at? Let's see. Hello. Have I watched Percy Jackson season 2 yet? I've seen the first episode. I've not seen the second episode. But Percy Jackson coverage, if you want it on a weekly basis, go subscribe to Cam's channel. She has reactions and breakdowns to the episodes coming out very, very soon. So go check that out. But I enjoyed the first episode when I saw it. I'm not a huge book reader, if you didn't know. I've outed myself, but I still enjoyed the show. And of course, I saw the 2 movies in theaters back in the day.
Boo.
Yeah, the movies are bad. Honestly, though, I will say I enjoyed The Lightning Thief growing up as just a movie. But having watched them when I'm older, yeah, not all that. Joe says, what if the "you're going to help me one last timeline" is actually the Mind Flayer somehow talking to Vecna and it's just edited to sound like Vecna? Maybe it's like Billy in season 3 where he's talking to himself. Yeah, it's interesting that we haven't heard this line said in the show yet. And I talked about this in my recent YouTube video where I addressed, all the trailer footage that's going to be from Volume 2 or the finale. And there's a line, of course, where, Vecna tells Will, "You're going to help me one last time." We haven't heard that yet. And so the context of it is unknown. And that excites me. That's going to be a big moment, I think. And kind of the running theory I have is that's going to be inside of Will's mind, right? I think Vecna is going to be inside of Will's mind, as we know they have a very deep connection this season via the hive mind. And so I'm of the opinion that it's probably going to be, hey, you're going to help me because I'm going to take over your body. You tapped into my powers. I'm going to tap into the hive mind and just possess you. You're just going to be a shell of yourself. You're going to have no control. And Vecna is going to be able to literally spy through Will, but have like physical control over his bodies and use his own powers through Will, much like how Will used those powers at the end of Ep 4. We're going to see that again, but Vecna will have full control, if that makes sense. There you go. But the Mind Flayer is certainly going to be involved in all this, and I think there's going to be some pretty wild reveals as we get into it. But we have some super chats piling in, though. Thank you guys for sending those in. This one is from Kyan. It says, do you think Mr. Whatsit is the good part of Henry, and he gave her the Tiffany cassette to save her from attack? Great question. This actually came up recently when I was hanging out with some people, and I had never really thought about it too deep, but that it could be something. Like, there's also the possibility, though, that was just the Duffers giving her that moment, that musical moment. And that's that, because sometimes they do these things where it's like they don't think about the lore of past seasons. I mean, for Christ's sake, they forgot Will Byers' birthday. You know what I mean? So it could just be, oh, here's this gift. Have some fun today with the music. Or there could be a deeper layer to it that's revealed, certainly. I like the theory, but I don't know if I can fully subscribe to it because, I mean, it's interesting, but also we do know Holly has been taken to the Spires, essentially, right? And so she's in Camazotz, Henry's mind prison. By the way, spoiler warning for Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 1. I'm sure everyone here has seen it by now. But spoilers, I mean, we've already gotten into spoilers, so spoilers. It's interesting because we obviously see in The Right Side Up at one point, Vecna directly talking to Will and telling him, like, I have this whole plan where I am, basically collecting children because they are, vulnerable, but they're also the easiest to sort of form almost a new society of sorts. And he goes into why he decided to target children. And so it's implied there that, the Mind Flayer and Vecna collectively, collaboratively working together have this plan for whatever reason. And we'll find out why. We'll get into the nitty gritty of that in future videos and in Volume 2. But it's implied that, to me, Henry is still evil. And he is obviously just presenting himself as such to make himself more presentable to the children, not to frighten them off, but to approach them as an imaginary friend to sort of lure them in, if that makes sense. That's kind of where I'm at with it. But it's a fun theory. I just think, I mean, I don't know if anything's going to come of it, because if you think about it now, Max and Holly aren't at the Creel House. They could go back, I guess, and for some reason take that, song, that cassette tape with them, but I just don't know if it would do any good in this moment, because it's all mental, if that makes sense. Like, we saw Max almost get out, but it's because in The Right Side Up, Lucas was playing running up that hill while Max was in the hospital bed. That was in The Right Side Up. Does that make sense? Kind of tracking with me. Hey, buddy. Indie Cat wants to potentially make a cameo. This super chat says, thoughts on Will losing an eye? Hey, if you love to pull from Mr. Clark's lessons and the subtle foreshadowing, the Phineas Gage rod through the eye from season 2 lesson could come into play here, and it could have been the ultimate foreshadowing. I wouldn't mind that, as opposed to maybe a bunch of main characters dying, maybe some of them just getting physically injured, like breaking bones, maybe losing limbs, but staying alive. I'd be okay with that. And so Will losing an eye, not only would it look badass, it would just be a way for that character to survive, but also have like the permanent scar in the memory of what happened. So he'd be forever changed by the experience, physically altered, right? But we wouldn't have to lose the character as well. So I actually kind of like that. I'll say I'm a fan. Let me take a sip of this drink. Delicious. Absolutely delicious. Outdoor Adventures with a super chat says, here's a theory. Remember the ring in Jonathan's music case? What if he gets Vecna'd and they look for his music and Nancy finds the ring? That would be wild. I mean, I don't think Vecna is going to be coming after anyone that's not a child in this season. I think that's kind of been established. But in this instance, right, let's say maybe Jonathan has this tape with the ring in his pocket and he's getting attacked by like a Demogorgon or something and it falls out. And that's how Nancy finds it. That could be a thing. I'll tell you what, like I'm John Bernthal. Let me tell you something. um, Cam actually brought this theory to me. She found it online. Apparently, there are people sparking up this potential for the ring to not be Jonathan's. It's actually a ring that was snuck in for Hopper to then propose to Joyce with. I like that. I don't think they're going to go that route, but I just thought that was a unique take. Cam told me about it. I was like, that's pretty neat. And it would make sense. So I'm here for that. I do think it is ultimately going to be for Jonathan, but I liked that theory. It felt fresh. Thoughts?
I would like to add another layer to that. It would make sense for Jonathan to ask for the ring and specifically not let Murray know that it is for Hopper, because Murray seems like the kind of guy who cannot keep a secret. And like he was literally talking about Jonathan proposing to Nancy in front of Nancy, pretty much. So it's like, it would make sense if Hopper was like, literally do not tell him that it's for me. I don't care what he does.
Yeah.
Because Murray would spill the beans.
There you go. So yeah, we'll see, but I don't think that would be the way the ring will be revealed. We know we're getting a scene with the two of them, Jancy, right, at Hawkins' lab in Vault 2. And so I think that could involve the ring, or the ring could just be saved for an epilogue type scene. Let's see. Do you think we've already seen the most violent death in the Stranger Things? I do. I think it was Sergeant Ramirez, played by Emmanuel Boria. I was able to interview him actually on the channel. If you haven't checked it out, be sure to. Great conversation, lovely guy, and getting sort of his insight on how all that went down was real neat. No Knives Out 3 spoilers. I got you. I won't spoil it because I know the movie's not even out to the public yet. It's well, I guess technically it is. I saw it in theaters, but it's like in limited run theaters. In theaters, it's just not on Netflix. I won't be spoiling anything. Don't worry. Do I think there will be a Thessal Hydra? I don't know. I mean, with only 4 episodes left, there's the potential for anything. We could see some sort of new demo creature, but I feel like we're probably not going down that path. I would be okay with it, though. I think it'd be a really cool callback. Snack 2425 with Super Chat says, still holding out hope for new Eddie scenes. Yeah, I mean, look, I'd love it too, especially a sort of like a lovely little flashback or a dream sequence. But I am losing a little bit of hope. It would to me, it would almost be something in an epilogue, though. I think that would be a perfect sort of epilogue moment to have a flashback with Eddie. I have a new channel member. Thank you for becoming a member of the channel. Jaden the Goat says, theory, do you think it's a possibility that 8 is making the kids see Mr. What's-It, since that's basically what Kali can do with her powers? I don't, and I'll tell you why. Vecna, or Henry, is able to go into people's minds, and it's already been established that he was inside of Holly's and Derek's mind. And so that's how Will was able to tap into their minds, because Will was able to, via the hive mind, tap into Vecna's mind, and that's how he was seeing what Holly was seeing and seeing what Derek was seeing. And so if Kali was somehow involved with that, it wouldn't make any sense. It would actually really muddy the waters and the plot would make no sense at that point. And so to me, I've heard this. It's neat enough, but it's just not logical in my opinion, because it's been established that Henry himself, has been, tapping into the minds of these kids. And so he already has the same powers where he can make people see things mentally, right? I don't think that Kali would be involved with any of that. I mean, it's a fun little theory, but I think the real reason Kali's been locked up is probably involving Dr. K wanting to almost study her or examine her like a lab experiment to try and figure out her powers and then how to combat them so that she can capture, maybe kill 11 or extract something from 11 to then use as a military weapon of sorts. Very Wayland Yutani from Alien. Even then, I've been rewatching the show a lot. Just the first 4 episodes. Last night, I just had the turbo trap on, and there was a moment where I think it's by the wall, and what do they call it? The hedgehog. That's what they call that, like sort of Humvee truck with the kryptonite on it, if you will. And I think it's Hopper who tells Elle, he's like, they figured out how to. There was a certain line where I was like, okay, this is very heavily implying that Kali or someone is out there that they've been running tests on to see what does damage to them. And that's how they created this sort of kryptonite in season 5. And so, no, I don't think that theory personally would make any sense, but it is a fun little thing I've heard. Gavin in here always asking some great questions. Gavin with the super chat says, early Oscar predictions. I think Chalamet and PTA are finally winning this year. I'll tell you after I take a sip of this drink. I will say, yeah, man, I will say, like, you guys know I didn't love One Battle After Another. I want to give it another go. Maybe it was just, a me thing the day of, an expectation thing. Who knows? Sometimes there are just movies though that don't work for me, and when they work for others. But that was one of the most anticipated movies of the year. I wanted to love it. I probably will check it out again at some point. But yeah, it does feel like trending towards Paul Thomas Anderson winning Best Director. I mean, it's overdue. I feel like it won't just be like, oh, here you go. It's a career legacy type thing. It's kind of the culmination of his career, right time, and also just the right movie. So it seems like he'll probably win Best Director, and good for him, honestly. PTA has made some great films. He's made some that aren't necessarily my cup of tea, but you got to respect him. And like Nolan finally winning for Oppenheimer, this is kind of that moment for PTA. I'm here for it. Regarding actor, probably Chalamet's to lose. I haven't seen Marty Supreme. I will definitely be watching Marty Supreme. Hopefully, I don't know when I'll see it, but it comes out on Christmas Day, Christmas Eve. I won't be able to do either of those, but I'm trying to see it before the year's over, obviously. Stranger Things Vol 2 is going to drop on Christmas night, and then that will occupy most of my time for the rest of the year, even into January. But I still want to try and see Marty Supreme because it is one of my... it is the one movie, if I had to only pick one to see the rest of the year, it's that one. I am unashamedly not an Avatar guy. I won't be seeing Avatar, and I don't really care for FNAF, and so I'm not even going to bother seeing those, but I do want to see Marty Supreme because I've heard great things, and I am a fan of Uncut Gems. I am a fan of Good Time. I know this is Josh Safdie, and Benny is the one who did the Smashing Machine, so it seems like Josh might have more of the juice, more of the sauce, if we're talking, one half of the Safdies. So yeah, I think that you're probably onto something there. And then I'll go as far as to say One Battle After Another probably going to win Best Picture. It just seems like that's where everything's trending right now. But yeah, we shall see. Ooh. Hey, Chris, what is your most anticipated reveal for part 2? Mine is the answer to how the Upside Down was created and what it is. I'm kind of with you. Honestly, if I had like one thing I need to know, and it's kind of looped into this, it's why specifically was Will Byers taken? Because even in, the first 5 minutes, which I rewatched the other day, Vecna tells Will, he's like, at long last we can begin. So obviously there was a plan to, target kids. And that's sort of hinted at and revealed in Sorcerer, the 4th episode. But we need a little more of a concrete answer as to why. We also need to know why it was Will. Was it just happenstance? Was it just, oh, I've got this plan to collect all these kids and boom, Will's here. And that's the one. It seems like there was a bigger plan and maybe more thought put into it personally. But I want to know why it was Will Byers specifically. And I also do want to know what the Upside Down is. Why is it there? They've hinted at that it's circular. And so it, to me, kind of seems like it's maybe just Dimension X, and that's this whole other dimension. But this is specifically an area that's like a circular area carved out that's just Hawkins, if that makes sense. So we'll get answers. It's frozen in time on November 6th, 1983. We'll get those answers. All those are the big things I need to know. Obviously I'm excited to see how Max is going to wake up. I'm excited to see who lives, who dies, but genuinely that kind of, to go a little Joe on you, that's kind of the crux of it all. What is the Upside Down? Because they said they're going to tell us. What is it? That's something I'm dying to know. So I'm with you there, Cobra Kai Hawk. Ooh, love this question. He might not be saying that line to Will at all. That's actually a damn good point. I don't know who else he'd be talking to. He could be talking to 11. You're going to help me one last time. You would think it's Will, but trailer trickery is a real thing. Hell, there's one shot in the trailer where we saw it in multiple pieces of marketing where Robin is looking up and it looks like she's looking up at the radio tower with the shadow particles twirling around it. That's not at all what she's looking at. She's looking at a Demogorgon after the truck flips. So there could be some trailer trickery, trailer editing tricks at play for sure. We'll see. We shall see. I like that. That kind of gave me chills, actually. He's not talking Will at all. Could you imagine? Super Chat here says, what do you think the intention of 8 will be? Her intention's probably just to get the hell out of there. I think that she's been captured, obviously, against her will, been held, been tortured, been studied, basically been treated like a lab rat. I think they're going to show how dehumanized she's become. She's been treated literally like an animal, it seems. They've had her strapped up and just been running tests on her. So that'll make her, easy to sympathize with, right? To feel for, to root for. And so I think they're going to do that. And then ultimately they might kill her to show, 11 really pissed off, like a pissed off 11. Could you imagine? That's definitely possible. So we'll see. I don't think she's going to have tons to do. I really don't. I think that the whole, reason she's coming back is to show this sisterhood relationship with Elle, but also to have this military plotline of Dr. K running tests. And that's how she's able to sort of not defeat 11, but even the odds, make it a little more of a fair fight by, oh, I have your sister, been running tests on her. I kind of know how to take you down too. Kind of like that. So that's the main reason I think they ended up bringing her back plot-wise. Owen says K Nancy shootout looks more likely by the day. Wow. Could you imagine Dr. K versus Nancy just having a little good old, like a Western showdown, Nancy with a rifle or shotgun and K with a pistol? You know, that's possible. I would not want that to be how Nancy died, though, getting shot by Dr. K. After all this crap they've been through, she's gone toe-to-toe with Vecna, she's shot Demogorgons, and she dies by getting shot by Dr. K. That would kind of suck. I don't know. Not sure how I feel about that. This question here says, you got to check out Welcome to Derry. Ratings are soaring right now, and I can confirm that it far exceeded my expectations. Incredible improvement from It Chapter 2. Yeah, at this point, I'm just going to wait till it's all out. I think it ends next week. I'll probably, I might try and binge it. If you guys would be interested, I might even do like a final or like a review, not even a review, more so my thoughts, a breakdown, something along those lines. I've been asked about it almost every stream, and I said, hey, I'm not huge on week to week. I got to wait and see if it sticks landing. So if like the consensus is kind of it's worth your time, it's worth watching, I might do a little binge watch of it. But I know there is a demand for people just watching that show, people big fans of that show. I've been asked about it a bunch, so I might try and tap into it. I feel like I am a little late to the party, but at the same time, talking about it as a whole, once every episode is out, could be the move. So we'll see. Okay, let me take a sip of this. Welcome in everybody who's joining. Hi from the UK. Well, hello there. Glad to see you here. When do you think we'll get the poster and the trailer? I think we'll get the Volume 2 trailer on December 15th. That would be 10 days before Christmas, 10 days before Volume 2. And if you go back, the Stranger Things Season 4 Volume 2 trailer dropped on June 21st, 10 days before Volume 2 premiered on, I'm about to sneeze. Oh, am I? On, I'm going to try and get to go away, on July 1st. So that's 10 days right there. I want to sneeze, do I? It went away. It passed for the time being. Okay. Ooh, have you watched any Christmas movies this year? I have. I actually have Letterboxd, and I'm active on it. Every movie I watch gets put on there. It might not get put on there immediately, but I will go right now. I'll tell you exactly what Christmas movies I've watched this year. I have been watching them. Yeah, so it is, I've watched 4 Christmas movies this year. The first one I watched was Die Hard, which is a Christmas movie, by the way. I watched it on the plane back from California. I watched A Very Jonas Christmas movie, one of the worst movies I've seen this year. Did you laugh at that? Yeah, it's terrible. It's so corporate. It doesn't even feel like a movie. It's just so weird. Almost like, I don't want to say an SNL skit. It was just so strange, so bizarre. The Polar Express I then watched after Georgia won the SEC championship, which was a damn good feeling. Celebrating that, watching the Polar Express with some hot chocolate. And then I watched Jingle All the Way, which I don't like at all. I just watched it again because Pretty Much It, or PMI, had a commentary track for it. And so I decided to watch it again. But I am planning to watch my staples just a little closer to Christmas, those being Home Alone 1 and 2, Elf, The Original Santa Claus, It's a Wonderful Life, hopefully. Those are some of the ones that I try and get to every single year. But yeah, I'm trying to get in the Christmas spirit. It's been so hectic this year. It's been different for sure. And Christmas Day, my mind's going to be on Stranger Things. You know what I mean? So I got to get the Christmas out of my system for the next 15 days because it's going to be Stranger Things full steam ahead once we get there. I have seen Knives Out 3. I think I addressed this. I have seen it. I actually saw it in theaters in LA. I was able to see it on 35mm film, which was very cool. The grain, I loved. It was just more immersive, and it looked better than it will on Netflix. But I quite enjoyed the movie. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, so an 8 out of 10 for me. I think I'd like it more on rewatch. But I also view the Knives Out movies as like really solid one-time watches, movies I don't go back to all that much. I think I was like, oh, Glass Onion's awesome. I think I gave it like a 9 out of 10. Haven't seen it since 2022, and I don't know when I'll watch it next. It's kind of like certain comedy movies where once you know all the jokes, you don't go back and watch them all that much unless they're like all-timers, just because it's not as funny on rewatch. Kind of like, horror movies. oh, if you know the big twists, it doesn't hit the same on rewatch sometimes. That's kind of how I am with the Knives Out movies at times. Not a bad thing. It's just, oh, I enjoyed this. It was very well done. It had a compelling message. But I know where we're headed. So I know you can say that about any movie with any plot, but specifically a murder mystery where the entire reveal revolves around every little detail and every little, twist and turn. It doesn't hit the same. Like even Fight Club. Not going to say anything about Fight Club if you haven't seen it. But second viewing of Fight Club is much different than first. So maybe this is like a two-time watch movie for me. I'll watch it again at some point. Very well acted. Josh O'Connor steals the show. It is probably my top 10 of the year as well, but it's not like an all-time movie for me. It's not my favorite movie of the year, if that makes sense. It's my main reason. It's a little long-winded. I think it's the longest of the three. It's like 2 hours, 26 minutes. You kind of feel that. Now, granted, my body was on East Coast time still mentally. So when I saw the movie at 7:20, I thought it was 10:30. And so I was tired by that. I was like trying to stay awake because in my brain, like the movie ended around 1:30. You know what I mean? It ended at 10 something. That's 1 something mentally for me. So I was exhausted by the time the movie ended, but at the same time, it was worth it. It was worth it. Definitely recommend checking it out on Netflix. In 2 days, it'll be on there. It's already Wednesday. This week's flying by. Have you seen the Supergirl trailer? I have not. It's not out yet. It comes out tomorrow. I will be doing a reaction, though, so stay tuned for my reaction. I react to trailers from all sorts of movies and shows and all that stuff. So stay tuned for that. And I hear we might be getting a Doomsday trailer soon. You guys already know I'll be making content about that as well. So yeah, I'll be reacting to it for sure. I'm about to hop right over to the Super Chats here in a second. Have you seen FNAF? I've seen the first FNAF from 2023. Haven't seen FNAF 2. No desire to see FNAF 2, honestly. So yeah, I don't have any plans to. I've heard it stinks. I'm also not a huge FNAF fan. Like I'm not a gamer like that. And I've heard if you're not a gamer I know I saw the first movie. If you're not like a diehard with all the lore and Easter eggs, the movie's just not for you. All right, we got some Super Chats piling in. Thank you guys so much for the support over here on Super Chats. A huge way to help support the channel, and it's a way for me to directly answer your question. This one here says, guesses on what the spinoff will actually be. Also, I think One Battle After Another is pretentious, but I would like to see PTA get his just. Yeah, I think he'll win the Oscar. It's probably his time. The spinoff, I don't think will involve any of our characters, any of the actors from the main show. Apparently, there's a rumor going around that there's going to be like a Nancy and Robin spinoff, and I don't think that's true at all. I haven't seen anything about it personally. It could be out there, but I just don't think that would be a spinoff they'd want to do. Going off what the Duffers have said, I'm pretty confident they made a claim that like the spinoff will be. It'll be set in the world, but it'll be with like different characters. It'll be completely different than Stranger Things. So I don't think it's going to involve any of those actors. I think everyone is ready to, end this chapter of their life and move on. And so I don't think anyone from the main cast will be returning for a spinoff. I think it'll be set maybe in a different time period with different characters in a different city, have in a different country, but it could be in a different universe, to be honest with you. I just don't think it's going to be this. So my spinoff pitch, what I have always wanted, I've said many times now, is a 1950s Hawkins High School, right? With Hopper, with Bob Newby, with Joyce, but they've already done that with the first Shadow play, which kind of bums me out. I haven't seen the play, I've read all about it, but I think it's a missed opportunity because that's a gold mine for storytelling with Stranger Things and adding depth. And I think prequels usually the way to go for spinoffs. I'm thinking Better Call Saul. I'm thinking House of the Dragon. Like if you have a big, spinoff to a very popular TV show, prequels the way to go because you kind of get away with saying, hey, you already know these characters. So it's easier to have audience buy-in and it just adds more depth to the original show and strengthens it. So I think that was a missed opportunity. Maybe they'll still do that. Maybe they will, because maybe they soft launched it in season 5 with, the brief moment of Max walking through one of Henry's memories and he sees, young Joyce and Steve's dad. That could be soft launching it. That's what I want. It's probably not what we're going to get. So I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't tell you that the spinoff, I think they'll announce it pretty early on in 2026, the idea for it. But damn, it's going to be hard to really pin that down as to what it is. Josh with the super chat here says, any chance the big explosion in the sky? Ooh, sorry. I got a cool text I'll tell you about in a second. Any chance the explosion in the sky we have seen in the trailer footage is a wormhole going unstable? Yeah, 100%. They've already teased Einstein Rosenbridge, Wormhole, and Mr. Clark's class. It very well could be that. It very well could be that. And I don't know how they'll make that work, how they'll write that in, but 1,000,000% I think it could be that. Yes. And when will this explosion take place? I lean Ep 6. I lean Ep 6. I don't know how early on they're going to want to show that, but something's clearly going down there. And this is where we get into the whole time travel conversation. I think I saw in the regular chat someone asked about time travel. I don't think we're going to see, we got to hit 88 miles an hour and to get back in time. I don't think we're going to see any of that. But there could be a low-key season 2 concept of time slipping. In this case, it'd be going through dimensions. Now, I don't think that we're going to lose the main timeline. I don't think that, this world that we're living in is going to be reset. I know that's a theory going around. I think we're going to be back where it all began. Like, I think the show's going to end with the Hawkins we know and love. However, there is a possibility that they could go crazy in episode 7, The Bridge. I mean, that's co-directed by Sean Levy and the Duffers. Could you imagine? I can't even fathom what they're going to do. And taking it one step further, the cliffhanger, and thankfully we only have to wait, 4 or 5 days? The cliffhanger from Ep 7 to the finale, I think it's going to be the worst cliffhanger of the entire show. By far. We've like the cliffhanger, let's be real, the cliffhanger we're sitting on right now, light work compared to the season 4 one. Light work. The season 4 one was like, holy crap. Vecna is one and Henry Creel. It would change the game. This time around, spoilers again, Will's able to channel like Vecna's powers. It's hype, but it does feel final. Like we kind of have this final moment. Okay, this is the midway point of the season. We know what to do moving forward. But it did feel like final in my opinion. I'm dying to see what's next, but it's not like, oh my God, I gotta see. So yeah, I think we're gonna have like a genuine cliffhanger at the end of Ep 7. One that like, it could be just that, man. It could be the timeline is about to be reset. Like we'll see you in 4 days, something crazy like that. So we'll see. I think Henry gave Holly the cassette so that music from the right side up can't snap her out of Camazotz. That's pretty clever, actually. I like that a lot. I like that theory because I was saying earlier, Max was almost snapped out of it and brought back from her coma because Lucas was playing some music in the right side up. Here, though, you make a good point. Now she's kind of been exposed to that music. Would it be able to break her? It's like pretty good. I like that. I haven't thought about that. Thank you for that point. Super chat here says, how do you think the group in the Upside Down, Steve, Dustin, Jonathan, and Nancy, will get past the circular wall holding the lab in the middle? Let me take a sip of this Diet Dr. Pepper. So here's the interesting thing. We have seen shots of just Jonathan. I just realized I could be forgetting. We've seen Jonathan and Nancy, Steve and Dustin in the Upside Down, what looks like on top of the radio tower with like red flashing in the sky. I think that's probably post explosion over Hawkins' lab. However, we have seen Jonathan in the right side up. He's hugging Will. He's hugging Mike, Lucas, 11. Seems like they're at the radio station. So they're going to get out somehow. How? I think they're probably going to get through. There's multiple possibilities here. It does seem like there's going to be another Demogorgon attack at WSQK. Well, how do demos arrive, right? Especially depending on where they're coming from. They usually traverse. They have these little temporary gates they open. They could get through there. There could be a world where whatever the hell happens, right, in the sky, explosion in the sky, you know what I'm saying? It almost creates... It destroys almost the barrier between the Upside Down and Hawkins, or the right side up. And so passage between the two is made much easier. I don't know, though. When it comes down to it, I have a feeling, oh, man, it's going to be good stuff. It's going to be real good stuff. I do have a feeling they're going to leave the Upside Down and then go back in Ep 6, 7, or 8, or Ep 7 or 8, excuse me, because I strongly believe the shot of Dustin in like a ghillie suit with, Nancy looking up, that's like either Ep 7 or the finale. Excuse me, because it's an outfit change for one. And why would they be, I mean, Dustin currently isn't wearing that ghillie suit. Unless he just has one in the upside down, they're going to get out somehow. So we'll see how. We'll see how. Does that explosion over Hawkins' lab involve Camazotz? Does it involve the escape from Camazotz? I have so many questions. I'm thrilled. I cannot wait to see how this all plays out. It's going to be damn fun. Great questions in the chat today, by the way. Real quick, my buddy texted me. He said, Doomsday trailer is rumored to be next week playing in front of Avatar. So I've heard that Avengers Doomsday is going to have a trailer in front of Avatar. But it does sound like the trailer might drop publicly next week. That, I will say, no hyperbole, will be one of the most significant trailers I've ever watched in the history of my YouTube channel. I mean, outside of Stranger Things, Spider-Man No Way Home, when I reacted to that, was a very significant trailer, like a moment in time, like a historical trailer. Multiverse of Madness, kind of like that. Avengers Doomsday, it's going to be one of the biggest trailers ever in terms of just whether it's, oh, this is going to be disastrous for the MCU, this is going to be monumental for the MCU, whatever it may be. It is going to be like one of those trailers where you're like, I remember where I was when that dropped. I remember where I was when I watched it. And it's going to be the talk of the town for a while. I think that's going to be talked about more than Avatar. I mean, that will be the talk of the town next week. So I can't wait. I think we're also getting a Vol 2 trailer next week. Next week has the potential to be one of the best weeks of the year. I mean, if we get a Doomsday trailer, we get a Vol 2 trailer for Stranger Things. Come on now. What are we talking about? There's going to be endless stuff to discuss. I can't wait. Cannot wait. All right, where was I here in the super chats? And again, thank you guys for being in here live or on the replay. Hit that like button, helps out tremendously. And my eye went to itching. Sorry about that. But yeah, thank you guys for being here. Braxton says, give it to me straight. What are the chances it's all a D&D game? 0. It's not happening. You don't have to worry about that at all. If you're actually worried about that, you don't need to be. The developers themselves have said, I think they're not doing it. It was shot down a while ago. It's not happening. It's not happening. So you don't have to worry about that. Next part of the question says, what if Vecna is a good guy in the end? And after they may be separated from the Mind Flayer? Yeah, there's potential for this. Like there's this whole idea, this notion of Henry being corrupted by the Mind Flayer. And so Henry is actually stuck in Camazotz. And then you've got, the Vecna is the physical, representation of the Mind Flayer using Henry's body as sort of a host because it's been decaying over time. Yeah, it's certainly possible. I don't think they'll go like full on good guy route. There's potential for them to do like a Darth Vader in Return of the Jedi type thing where maybe Vecna or Henry fully takes over briefly and is able to like take out the Mind Flayer and himself. But I don't know how far down that rabbit hole they want to go because Vecna has done some awful things. But redemption, is it possible? It's questionable. We just have to see how the developers would want to go about pulling that off, though. But there's a possibility for it. Do you think Max and Holly escape or only Max? I think they're both going to escape. Stranger Things NFL merch is available at Target. Well, there you go. Very cool. What's your opinion on The Godfather? It's a great film. I went to the Academy Museum when I was out in LA, and we photoshopped Indy into a picture of me holding it when I was in the Godfather set. So that was fun. Yeah. I'm going to make him an offer with camp shoes. I used to be really good at doing one of those. I would put cotton balls in my mouth and do that. Godfather. Not as good anymore, a little rusty, but it's a great film. I'm not checking out the new Avatar. I don't care, to be honest with you. I guess you could even label me as an Avatar hater, which I know is I guess it's becoming more popular, though. A lot of people seem to not be on the Avatar train, but didn't care for the first movie, did not care for Way of Water at all. I think the second movie is just basically a reprint of Avatar. And from what I've heard, this is even more, it's more egregious with Fire and Ash. It's even more of a repeat of Way of Water. At a certain point, visual effects aren't enough to carry a movie. I need, compelling characters, a fresh story, and it all just seems repetitive at this point. So I'm probably done with it. When does the Escape Pod come out? I've seen loads of clips from it. It's a Patreon exclusive on their Patreon, so you have to join their Patreon to check it out. But I've also seen clips from it. It's funny to see what people clip from that. But yeah, we went on there last week. I think it was last week we filmed it, and it's been about a week that they've had that episode out on Patreon. But a lot of fun moments. We got heated over there. Got into it with with specifically I think Stancy versus Jancy, and it got heated for sure in a friendly way. All right. Alrighty. I've never played the Stranger Things mobile game. Vol 2 trailer, I think, will be coming out on December 15th, I want to say. Greetings, I heard a rumor that Prince song Bring It On. If they use Prince, that's badass. Which one would be the question? Yeah, there's an interview clip of the Duffers on a carpet, and they were like, we have a needle drop. I believe they said in the finale that like it's a song, it's like a first. Like this song has maybe never been used in a TV show, I think is what they said, because of how rare or hard it is. And I was like, hell yeah. And apparently their selling point was like, hey, we got to do this with Kate Bush and running up that hill. This is what it could do for you. I just imagine how the meeting went down. It was like the Duffers pulled up to whoever this is, right? The estate of whatever artist it is. And they're like, hey, we want to use so-and-so by Prince. And here's all you need to see. And they slide over like the number of streams for running up that hill before and after Stranger Things and the amount of money that the artist made off of it. And they were like, here you go. And then they're like, yep, I'm sold. All right, we got some more super chats coming in here. This one from Jaden. It says, have I read this already? No, I haven't. When Will screams run in the trailer, do you think that Will is losing control of his powers and turns evil, explaining why Will himself wasn't running? I think so. I think the opinion I've come to is that in this moment, Vecna is doing a reverse Will, right? So at the end of 4, end of Sorcerer, Will taps into the hive mind to use Vecna's powers. Here, I think we're going to see Vecna possess Will's body fully and use his own powers, right? So we'll see the same powers that Will was using via Vecna at the end of season 4, or at the end of episode 4, excuse me, except Vecna will be doing that in full control of Will's body because he's also tapped into the hive mind. I think we could see that, and that would be a really devastating way to see one of our characters die. Imagine that is how they die or get severely injured. It's Will's body injuring Steve, injuring Jonathan, his own brother, right? Whoever it may be, but it's Vecna in control. Man, chilling stuff. But no, that's kind of where I'm at with that moment. At one point we were like, oh, it could be a Demogorgon, it could be a dragon, it could be so-and-so. I'm kind of the opinion that that's what it's going to be. Whew. Could you imagine? Chills. Cobra Kai Hawk in here, as always, thank you so much for the super chat. It says, do you think that the Mind Flayer is going to come to the real world? The full shadow Mind Flayer monster has actually never come to the real world. Yes, I kind of do. I think that when we see that shot of the particles around the radio tower, that could be the beginning formations of it. But no, I do think we're going to see this shadow form of the Mind Flayer in the right side up. We've never seen it. It's overdue. We've only seen it in the Upside Down or in like Will's Now memories or whatever it may be. I think we will certainly see that, and it's all been building to that. How cool will that be too? Oh my goodness. I cannot wait. I can't wait to see what the show decides to reveal with the Mind Flayer and Vecna and the connections and all that jazz. I think there's so much potential there. I hope they land the plane. I know we all have our theories, and I just want to see what they do. I want to see them fully commit to it and full send on something crazy. But no, I do think, to your point, imagine the visuals. Oh, come on now. The budget's been off the chart, and especially with the creatures, the Demogorgons, Vecna. I think with this form of the Mind Flayer and the right side up, they could do some awesome, awesome stuff. I just imagine a shot of it like forming over Hawkins on fire. I want that framed like Adam's art box. He'll have to cook here, and I'll be posting. I'll be getting all his art for season 5 for sure. $20 super chat here. Thank you so much. It's about Holly. Let's get it. Let's get our theory caps on this theory. Holly the Heroic will spawn the dimension door for Max to escape Camazotz alone. Max has a physical body to go back to, whereas Holly is stuck to Aspire. Max can tell the team where Holly is, along with the other kids. Phenomenal theory. Truly, this probably, it sounds like a spoiler almost. I'll say it. I like this a lot. I definitely think Holly's powers are going to come into play, and she's going to have some ability. They wouldn't have had that scene with her and Mike for nothing. Holly the Heroic, she will certainly cast a dimension door, and that will come into play with escaping Camazotz. I'm with you 100% there. We've even seen that door from, I think it was the One Last Adventure video. There's a shot of like a door out in a field. Certainly could be that. You know what I'm saying? So feels very Monsters Inc., doesn't it? Talking about doors. But yeah, I'm with it. I could see that too. I hadn't thought about that, where Holly is not even in the right setup right now. She's in the Spire, which to me is actually inside the Mind Flayer. I think that the Spires are like the Mind Flayer's like hub or something. Yeah, that's damn good. That's damn good. I like that theory quite a bit. And then Max in the last 2 episodes helps to get Holly out. Yeah, it would also be fitting if Holly didn't return until the finale, because that's when Will returned, right? And if her vanishing sort of mirrors Will in season 1, that would make a lot of sense and be a pretty compelling way to conclude that. Now, I wonder if in order to get the kids and Holly back, someone will have to make a sacrifice. That's what I wonder at this point. Super Chat here says, what if Dr. K is the one pulling the strings? Something's going on with her. Something fishy. I'll say it.
That's Mama.
I don't know if you guys heard that, but Cam said that's Mama. Yeah, we kind of have a weird...
That's what I say every time someone brings up Dr. K. I go, that's Mama.
She could be a Brenner. She could be a Brenner. Whether that's a sister, an ex.
Is it wife?
A widow? Yeah.
Is it sister? Sister would, I think, be crazier than wife.
Yeah, it's a whole family thing. I kind of agree. Yeah, I think there's something going on with her, and I've said this many times since my reaction, and I'm not making it up. There's a moment where Dr. K is like, my name is, and Elle goes, Dr. K, and cuts her off. Why would they have done that if not her name is something else? She was going to say her real name. That's maybe I'm reading too deep into it, but I don't know if she would refer to herself as that. Would she say my name is Dr. K? Wouldn't she just say my name is K Brenner? I don't know.
K Brenner.
Who knows? That would be crazy though if she's pulling the strings. I think she's involved from the military side of things. On this mission to get 11 for to militarize her powers essentially. But we'll find out. Josh says Callie is going to hide the party from Dr. K when she attacks the radio station. I'm calling it now. Okay. Interesting. So you think we will see her and others attack the military base? I like that theory. Yeah. Is that where we see her pulling up? There's a shot of Kay firing a pistol, but it looks like there's barracks behind her from the military base. But we also know there's a shot of Nancy with a rifle, and you can't really make out where she is. It doesn't look like she's near WSQK. It'd be cool if they attacked the radio station though, and that's where a final showdown is. I wouldn't be mad about that at all. I could see that. Callie, though, I don't know if she's gonna, or Callie, sorry. I don't know if she's gonna be able to help out all that much. I wonder how defeated she is and how physically exhausted she is. What are her capabilities physically at this point with her powers even? We'll find out. I would like to see the Upside Down bleed into Hawkins. Will this happen? Well, it's kind of already happened, right? And it was sort of covered up at the end of 4 in the gap between. I think we could see more of the same. I think that explosion in the sky over Hawkins' lab and the Upside Down could directly impact the barrier between the 2 dimensions, right? Those being the right side up and the upside down. I think we could see them merge in a sense. I don't know how hardcore they want to go with it. Maybe it sort of emanates from the library of Hawkins, like Hawkins' library, and then from there it tries to spread elsewhere, but it can't. We could see something like that. I don't know if we'll see it full on, bleed into one. That'd be crazy though. I'm thinking of Spider-Verse animation where there's flickering between dimensions. That would be the way to do it. But imagine how cool that would look, but also imagine the budget and the logistics of it all. It might get a little too crazy or insane at that point. So we'll have to see. Is the Thessal Hydra the final boss? I don't think so, but it would be really cool to have this callback, with the Thessal Hydra being referenced early on in the show. I think it would be a really cool D&D callback. I would also like to see, even one of these in the final episode, right? You've got Demo Bats returning, Demo Dogs, Demo Gorgons. Let's throw a Thessal Hydra in there. Why not? Just sort of for the fans. That'd be what it would be for. But man, that would be fun. That would be a lot of fun. I like that. Let me take a sip of this. I wish you covered It Welcome to Derry. I mean, it's not too late, I guess. But yeah, I probably should have in retrospect. But, I have a bunch of shows I'll be covering next year. I've already outlined. I mean, I cover a lot of things outside of Stranger Things. It's been very Stranger Things heavy with season 5, but Outer Banks, the final season of that, I'll be covering. I'll probably be doing some coverage of The Boys, the final season. I'll be covering Wednesday season 3 production, lots of MCU movie coverage. And then, you've got some DC stuff as well. Stranger Things, I looked ahead, pretty much all of January is going to be a lot of Stranger Things coverage as well. There's tons of final videos to do, episodes ranked, seasons ranked, characters ranked, saddest deaths ranked, sort of retrospect on the show as a whole, looking at individual videos devoted to like how, they ended Vecna, like the sort of looking at it holistically with endings included, like the journey of Henry Creel, right? The ultimate sacrifice for a certain character. You've got the whole show almost like a deep dive into video essay style. I could do, there's endless possibilities I've written down. And then you got Tales from 85, you got the 10-year anniversary. You're probably going to have a behind the scenes documentary, maybe the first Shadow play. It's Netflix. So I'll be talking about it a lot next year, on top of all the other movies and shows I'll be covering as well. And if there's ever a big show you guys like are interested in, and a lot of you show interest in, I may be able to cover that as well. So just let me know what you think. I want to get outside my comfort zone next year. I want to try watching things I normally wouldn't. And I'll tease that here too, just to kind of get the message out there. In my life, countless times, will you ever watch anime? I'm like, I don't know. I might branch out and try some of that next year with Attack on Titan, potentially. People have always asked, will you watch Attack on Titan? Will you watch Attack on Titan? I've never seen any of it, any anime ever. So I might watch that next year as like a reaction series. We'll see. I'm not promising anything, but there's potential for that. So stay tuned. All right. Do you think Robin and LF die? I don't think Robin has to die at all. I know she didn't have a character poster yet. I know there's like a lot of movement towards this. Like lately, I've seen people being like, Robin's a goner. Why Robin? Why kill Robin? I don't know. I'm anti it. I love her. I would be actually crushed if Robin died. So no, I don't want her to die. I don't think she has to die. Vecna or Pennywise from It Welcome to Derry? In what sense? Because I think I think Pennywise is probably more iconic, right? In like the cultural zeitgeist because of longevity. That it's technically been around since the 90s in like film or TV media. But Vecna, I think, is like a modern icon. So I think Vecna's cooler, but Pennywise, I mean, I can't get It Chapter 2 out of my mind. Pennywise went out sad. So I've heard Pennywise is a menace in this new show. Leanne is in here. Shout out Leanne. I saw you got a cool Christmas tree setup going on Instagram, so that's awesome. Here we go. Now that we've had Vol 1 for a little while, what are your thoughts around the Kali return? I mean, yeah, it's been what? It's already been 2 weeks, two and a half weeks. Yeah, so I kind of am of the opinion that I'm okay with it as long as they prove me. The Duffers can prove to us, hey, this is why we brought her back. If they just brought her back, have her around for a little bit and do nothing with her, it's like, it's whatever. But if they're bringing her back for a reason that serves a greater purpose in 11 and the overall story, I'm okay with it. Maybe it is for the best that they can, lessen the stain, I guess you'd say, that is the Lost Sisters. Like, because most people agree that's the weakest episode. It's the lowest rated by like everybody. But if you can, lessen the blow there and make it like a more watchable episode to the common fan and make it have more of a purpose on rewatches, I understand it. So I don't hate it. I was pretty upset at first. I was like, really? I have warmed up to it more, but I'll withhold final judgment until we've seen these last 4 episodes to really see what they did with her, right? Because if they just brought her back for like shock value and they don't really do anything with it, I'll be like, damn. But I'm hopeful that what they end up doing is redeeming her, redeeming the Lost Sister, maybe even giving her like a big epic sacrifice moment or something that can inspire Elle. So we'll see. We got some super chats pouring in. Thank you guys so much for the support on stream. I see we have like 440 people in here. Hit that like button, guys. It helps out a lot. Let's get to 400 likes. I believe, to quote the Polar Express. Let's see. Tess says, also, family just got home, so we're catching up. Dr. K. Who is she? Hot take, her kindness to Elle, only time so far. I think she's Terry Ives' mom. That would be nuts. I definitely think there's something going on with her behind the scenes. She's not just Dr. K. They haven't told us her full name for a reason. She does look, both in posture and with like her hair, comparable to Brenner. And she's clearly hell-bent on examining specimens from the Upside Down. She's like putting together this like tentacle arm that looks all sewn up. You've got her cutting into like the spore emitter type thing. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Just 1 or 2. I can't tell yet. A second one might be coming. I don't know for sure. I think in real time, I'm actually getting a cold on stream.
Stop.
It's crazy. I don't know how it works that fast.
He's trying to blame It's not my fault.
Anyway, yeah, I think she's going to be somebody. I like that theory a lot. I do think she's going to have some relation to Brenner because of the studying of specimens from the Upside Down. But man, that would be nuts. That would be nuts. Terry Ives' mom. Is she old enough to be Terry Ives' mom? Maybe.
How
maybe.
old is Linda Hamilton?
Google it.
You Google it.
I'll look it up. Let's see.
You always have the stuff you knows, by the way.
I do. That is very true. What's Linda Hamilton age? She's 69, she's 70 soon. So she was like 68, 69 when they filmed it.
So yeah, if she was, I'd say Terry Ives is like 30-ish. She had 11 probably when she was like 20-something.
Who knows? Yeah. I mean, hey, there's possibility for it for sure. I'd be game for this. Gavin always asking some fire questions. Thoughts on Tarantino calling Paul Dano weak sauce? It's been like all over my For You page. I've seen some hilarious Tarantino impressions lately. I love Tarantino's movies. I've always thought Tarantino is a weird cat. Undeniably, he's just a weird guy. He's eccentric. He's a bit pretentious at times. He's kind of out there, but I love his movies and his dialogue and all that. It's probably not his. It's weird to kind of call him out like that, but I think Paul Dano's great. I think it's also just like funny. Like, I don't know, like just seeing him be so unhinged and just saying random stuff and just spewing all this stuff. Like it's wild to see. It's probably not for the best. Saying this actor sucks, this actor sucks, this actor sucks. It's not like the best look for him, certainly. But I just think it's like funny in a sense that he's just so unhinged. He doesn't care anymore. I don't know. I get a kick out of seeing these skits online of people like talking about Tarantino versus Matthew Lillard, Owen Wilson, and Paul Dano. It's weird. Yeah, that's kind of my take on it. I don't think Paul Dano's a bad actor at all. I think he's great. But it was funny. It's funny to me what Tarantino gets so passionate about. Like he has some takes that he'll just go in on. And he'll get so passionate about it. He'll be like, Toy Story 3 is, one of the greatest films of the century, which I, by the way, love. But he'll be like of all people, right? Tarantino, you've seen his movies, and he's out here praising the Toy Story trilogy. I just find it hilarious, which great taste, by the way. But to see him get so fired up and have his little things that he gets hell bent on, it's always kind of gotten a kick out of me and his stupid reactions sometimes. But I think he's great as a director, obviously. But yeah, it's weird. He's just firing shots right now. That's kind of my take on the whole thing, though. Cobra Kai Hawk with another super chat here says, how many characters do you think are going to die? I expect at least 2 main characters to die, and a lot of side characters are going to die, like Kali, Murray, etc. This 4 episodes are going to be brutal. Honestly, man, I would say to sort of dial back those expectations, because we did the same thing with season 4. We were all like, oh, they're killing Robin, they're killing Steve, they're killing everybody. This is a show that's never been about major character deaths. We lost no major characters through the first 4 episodes. Now, I know we only have 4 eps left, and that's it. But realistically, look at characters and their arcs and what killing them would provide for the show, for the other characters, and for the overall journey. I think that we'll get 1 major death. 1 major main character will die. Eileen, Elle, if not Elle, like Will, like one of those 2, right? That's going to be the biggest death of the show, in my opinion. I think one of those 2. Vecna is going to die. That's technically a death. That's like the villain. I think the Mind Flayer is dead. All the upside down stuff eradicated. I think we get 1 more. So I think we get the main villain dead, a main hero dead, and a side main dying. That side main could be one of Murray, Jonathan, Nancy, or Steve. Like one of those types of deaths. I don't think any of the OG kids are like, I don't think Mike's dead. I don't think Dustin's dead. I don't think Lucas is dead. Kali dying, I think, is on the table. And then I guess technically, like if they were to bring in Dr. Owens for some reason, who I'm like, where is my man? Where is he? It's kind of a bit now, honestly, in the reaction videos. If he comes in and dies, fair game. Dr. K dying, yeah, I think so. But of the characters that have been around forever, 1 major and 1 smaller main. That's kind of where I'm at with it. And then Vecna. So I don't think that it's going to be a bloodbath. I know people do. 2 mains would be a lot. Technically Steve, Jonathan, or Nancy is like a main, but that would be gutsy. That'd be a big time kill right there. man, could you imagine they actually did this? They killed like Murray, Robin, Jonathan, and 11. Like that'd be a bloodbath in terms of Stranger Things, and frankly, in any show. Even like the MCU only killed 2 major characters really in Endgame. They had Tony, and then they had Black Widow, and that was like those were the big deaths. But wow, that would be huge. It'd be gutsy. It'd be gutsy. If Kali didn't come back, it'd be a plot hole, sort of. I mean, I am of the opinion that they could have just left her out there. We know Elle has a sister, and she went and talked to her, and she kind of didn't really have a great relationship with her, but it taught Elle, like, oh, I know who my real family is. I'm going to go save them. They need me. And I don't want to be like my sister. That's kind of that. I don't think they needed to bring her back, but, more power to them for bringing her back if they can prove me wrong. That's kind of the mindset I have right now with it. Another super chat says, I really hope we see Dr. Owens. Imagine him working alongside Kali and Elle, especially with all his knowledge on Henry and the experiments with Brenner. I'm with it. And this could even be where Soteria comes into play. Soteria, of course, being that little chip that inhibited Vecna or Henry in the flashbacks, the Massacre at Hawkins Lab flashbacks. I'm down for this. I am. I want Dr. Owens back now. I think don't know where he is, because the last time we see him, he's with Sullivan at the Nina Project facility, and that's it. He's not shown again. Is he dead? Has he been held captive? Is he also being held prisoner at this lab? Like, I need to know what's going on with him. Did they kill him off? Like, I think the actor Paul Reiser has been interviewed in Carpets and said that he filmed for season 5. I will probably get on my feet when Dr. Owens shows up. I will be hyped when that man shows up. So yes, please to all of this. Tess says, got our Firefly merch. Woohoo! Awesome. Big U-Haul box full. Hell yeah, I love to hear it. Everyone has a film stock shirt for the first Shadow in London. Send me a picture for sure. I'll be able to put that on like Instagram, my story, and I'll definitely throw in a YouTube video as well. If you're interested, DM that to me. I'd love to sort of share that. That's awesome. In fact, if you guys have film stock merch, I know there have been a lot of you guys getting it. Definitely send me a picture of you wearing it, and I'll feature it in a video. I'll feature it on my Instagram story. Like, I love to share that kind of stuff. So if you have gotten your merch, be sure to share it with me if you're comfortable, of course. And if you haven't, makes for a good Christmas gift. You can get it at Firefly Shop, linked in the description of this live stream or any video on the channel. Get your Firefly merch. It's she crushed it with design. She also has this is Firefly. I'll stand so you can see it. This is Firefly, and it's got this right here on the sleeve. Firefly, incredible designs. I think this one might not be even available anymore. It's from 2022. But yeah, she's great, and she crushed it with this design for film stock. It's the first ever merch collab I've done. And so check it out if you haven't. Consider getting some for Christmas or putting on your Christmas list. Have fun at the first Shadow, by the way. All right. Here are some, I don't know what is theories. Do you think how Kali will show Vecna the cave he is afraid of? I'm curious to see what her role is. Yeah, she could definitely be played to maybe strike fear into him. But also at the same time, again, I'm telling you guys, I don't know if we're going to see her, using her powers. I think it's going to be more so she's going to be there to maybe teach or give some important information to Elle. She's then going to die, and that's going to serve a purpose for Elle. Because if you look at Kali, her entire story arc, her entire presence on the show has been to serve Elle and to serve Elle's journey as an individual. And I think they're going to continue that here. I don't think they're going to give Kali some crazy, arc. I think that they're going to have her and say, hey, I kind of screwed up at one point in my life, and I want to, with my final moments, because she's been tortured and she's close to death, I'm going to assume, okay? In my final moments, I want to pass this knowledge on to you, the ability to use, a similar power set of mine. I'm going to be a diversion. You guys are going to get out of here, and I'm going to sacrifice myself. I think that's all we need from her. I don't think we need a ton from her. She could be used to play mind games on Vecna and show, him the caves that he's traumatized of, getting into the first Shadow stuff, and of course where Max is camped out in Henry's mind prison, Camazotz. But we'll see. I'm curious to see what her role is as well. And as I sit here talking about this, I'm thinking, could you imagine if I went back in time to June and it's December now? Back in June, I couldn't even imagine all the stuff I'm saying. I had no idea. Oh, Max is stuck in Henry's mind prison that's called Camazotz, and I just had no clue. And now it's you fast forward, 5-6 months, and this is just what we're talking about, and this common knowledge. It's crazy how time flies. All right. Super chat here. I love the Murray reference. With how connected Will is to the Upside Down, do you think they run into conflict if they close the Upside Down, they take Will out? Also, I've kind of thought this. I know there's a lot of theories going around with the Harry Potter of it all, where maybe, Will's connection to the hive mind, it results in him dying, Vecna dying in order to get rid of this whole thing. Well, is there a way to go full Harry Potter where he can die but then come back? I think there is a way. I don't know how they're going to do that, but the concept's been introduced where Max dies, but 11 was able to sort of present her with these memories, and then she was able to wake up. There's definitely a possibility for that. There is. Hey, Cam, could you hand me a tissue real quick? And I'm just going to, thank you, wiping my nose real quick. It was getting annoying. Sorry about that if that grossed you out. But no, I think so. I think there's a world where we're going to see Will essentially die, but then come back. Very Max at the end of season 4.
Ooh.
Please. What's your thought?
Well, now that I think about it, I don't know. But it's okay. So for Will, it's kind of been established he has to be close to a part of the hive mind to tap into the hive mind's powers. What if Vecna can only tap into Will when he's near Will?
Interesting, yeah.
I wonder what that would mean.
Yeah. Proximity, they kind of hinted at the proximity thing a bit, so we'll see. We shall see. All right. IMO, their plan, or in my opinion, their plan is surely going to go wrong. Max will escape, and they will then go after Holly and the kids, which ultimately leads into the final battle. Certainly could be the case. Yeah, I wouldn't hate that at all, honestly. I think that, sorry, my nose is really messed up on the stream, so if you see me going like this, my nose is just having fits right now. Yeah, final battle. Where is the final battle going to be? Where do we think it's going to be? Is it going to be, downtown Hawkins? Is it going to be at the radio station? Is it going to be at the Wheeler house? Is it going to be at the Creel house? Is it going to be in the Upside Down at one of those locations? I'm intrigued. I don't think we know yet. I don't think we've really seen anything. The only potential shot we've seen from a final battle, in my opinion, is of Dustin, Nancy, Jonathan, and Steve on the radio tower, but in the Upside Down. That's where I'm at with it. So we'll see. But that's where I'm at with that personally. So it'd be fun to see that final battle go down, though. All right. Another super chat here from Star Wars Fanboy. Love the Luke Skywalker profile pic, as always. Says, Chris, I finally saw the first half of Stranger Things Season 5 Vol 1. And it was incredible. So many moments that are still stuck in my head. And I need Vol 2 now. Props to you if you avoided spoilers. I know they've been out there for a while. I have a buddy who texted me 2 days ago. He was like, I just watched the episode Sorcerer. I was like, how the hell did you not get spoiled? He's not on social media or anything, but I'm like, dude, how? I guess a lot of people were later to the party and didn't get spoiled, and that's actually impressive in my opinion. I immediately watched the episodes right when they dropped the Do Not Disturb, so I didn't get spoiled for them, but I know people probably did. But no, yeah, Vol 1 was awesome. I've watched it a few times now, and one of my favorite sequences is actually in the Turnbow Trap. It's the whole trap sequence. Obviously, the end of Sorcerer from the demo attack on is great. I love some of the smaller character moments in this season too, notably with Hop and Elle, notably when, Lucas goes and visits Max at the hospital. There's a lot to love from this season, and I think the best is yet to come. I think it's awesome so far. I think the best is yet to come in terms of character moments, in terms of needle drops, in terms of action, in terms of just those epic, iconic Stranger Things moments. When I think of epic moments in the show, I think of Dear Billy running up that hill. I think of the piggyback with Master of Puppets. I think of the running up that hill epic remix with Hopper attacking Demogorgon. We haven't even scratched the surface on those yet, right? The most epic moments, bless you. The most epic moments are probably, Will channeling Vecna, using those powers. That's the epic moment. But we haven't gotten a lot, and I think they're saving them, and I think they know what they've got. We're going to get a lot of them. But no, I can't wait. I agree. I haven't been able to stop thinking about Vol 1, and I'm thrilled to see these next 4. Do you think Steve will fight in season 5? If not, I sue. Yeah, I think we'll see him fight. I think he's got to have the bat again. I think it would be super satisfying to see him actually mess up a Demodog with that bat. Come on now. That would be hype. Yeah, I'd be here for it. Cobra by Kai Hawk says you should react to One Piece live action, especially since Sholo was cast and has potential to win some awards because of the character he's playing. I said that today. I posted a video about upcoming Netflix shows. One Piece live action. Sholo's cast in the 3rd season. I've never seen the anime. It's daunting. I know I won't watch it. It's 1,000+ episodes. There's no way I'm going to do that. But I will watch the live action. And so there's potential for that. That might be a show that I begin to cover on the channel as we approach 2026. Never say never. Yeah. Would you guys be interested in me watching? I watch One Piece, a little reaction, covering the new season. It's certainly a possibility. So, hey, never say never. But we will see what ends up going down with that. I am intrigued. And I know that's one of the shows Netflix is going all in on. Maybe I start watching it finally and I give it a go. We'll see. Sholo in anything I kind of want to watch. He's the man. Cobra Kai, baby. Miguel Diaz. There's so many great Miguel Diaz edits. I think Nancy is going to probably make it out. And I'm with you. Jancy over Stancy, personally. At this point in the show, especially. I think it's got to be. The TVMA thing is false. It's still TV14 for season 5. You know, you're right. There were so many reports of TVMA. I made videos about it. We were all making a big deal about it. I mean, the kill in Sorcerer is pretty damn brutal, but nothing, there hasn't been an F-bomb. There hasn't been anything else to indicate like R rating essentially. So yeah, I kind of agree. It's a bit, you know, TV14, which is fine. That's what the show's always been. I see there's over 500 people in here now. Hit that like button, guys. Helps out tremendously. And keep the questions coming. Sorry, I have a bit of a cold or something coming on. Allergies, maybe? I don't know. Okay. All right. Looking through here, looking through the chat. Ted is the GOAT. Honestly, I think Ted could still die. How excited are you for the Doomsday trailer? I'm very excited. I'll say it. It's one of my most anticipated trailers that I can think of ever, just because of the curiosity, right? I gotta know. What is going to be in that trailer? Are we going to see RDJ's Doom fully? Are we going to hear him speak? Are we going to see a bunch of these X-Men? Are we going to, like, is it going to give us plot details? I got to know what they've been doing. And Marvel knows how important this movie is. I need to know how important it is. I want like an epic ass trailer. So that's like the trailer that I'm anticipating right now. Do you really think Steve's going to die? I don't. I think Steve and Dustin are both going to live. I think that killing Steve would be a repetitive plot beat in terms of Dustin losing an older brother figure and having to grieve, and they wouldn't want to do that again to him as a character. And I think Dustin dying is just pretty much off the table. I think he's unkillable almost, in my opinion. He already got his ass beat. He's been through too much. He's got to live to guide the sheep, right? And be the Eddie Munson of it all. All right. Max will wake up in Ep 6. I certainly hope so. Escape from Camazotz would be a hell of a way for her to wake up. Okay. Jay Hayes in the chat. Shout out another fellow mod here on the channel. Am I watching the CFP? Absolutely. Yeah, I will be definitely watching the college football playoff. I will. Thank God, by the way, my team is not playing on New Year's Eve. That was my biggest fear all year. I've addressed that. They're playing on New Year's Day. Hallelujah. For those who didn't know, a lot of you already know, I am a huge Georgia football fan, and they are playing at 8 p.m. Eastern on New Year's Day. It does not at all conflict with the finale of Stranger Things. We won. I mean, that's a huge win right there. I was so worried I was going to have to miss a Georgia game, and I hate having to do that. There's like a 25% chance because there are 4 quarterfinal games, 3 of them on New Year's Day, 1 on New Year's Eve, literally at the same time as the finale, and I don't have to worry about it anymore, so I'm off the chain. Whew. Ted, walk him down, Wheeler. Promise this is the only football question I'll ask today, but did you see the news about Michigan's head coach? Good to see you in here, by the way. Yeah, I did. Something about Michigan football coaches, like just in the state of Michigan, right? Michigan State, getting into some weird stuff. Weird vibe. Yeah, I saw that. Pretty wild headline. That's all I'm going to say. Feel free to do some research if you're interested. All right. A couple more super chats in here. Okay, I've answered this one. Answered this one. Here we go. This one here says, imagine Steve gets killed and they play his song in the beginning and they show flashbacks of all Dustin members of Steve. As sad as that sounds on paper, they wouldn't play that song, I don't think, because it's not an 80s song. It's a song from 2000, I believe 22 is when that song came out. So I don't think they would do that. Again, I'm sure there'll be fan edits if that were to happen. If Steve dies, trust me, trust me, you'll be fine, one could say. You'll get all the Joe music edits over Stranger Things moments. They already exist, honestly, and you can go find some great ones on TikTok, but they're not going to play that song in the show itself. Super chatter from Robert says, I think in Vol 2, Max and Holly will see the memory Henry thinks of to amplify his powers that he mentions in season 4, perhaps the first shadow ending. It could very well be. I think they definitely shoot some stuff from Henry's past and put it in here. There's a shot in the trailer of Holly, and she's looking like petrified, like, oh, she looks very scared at the screen, and she's somewhere we haven't seen. And so I'm thinking that could be one of Henry's memories that they see. But no, that's a great point. I think we're going to see more of the 1959 Hawkins stuff with younger Henry, because they already sort of soft launched it in episode 4 Sorcerer, when Max is going through the memories and we see young Joyce, we see Steve's dad. Like I said earlier, they're probably going to explore that further here. Excuse me, in the back half. Tess says, idea on where the kids are being Mind Flayer's mouth, just random upside down space. What you think? I'm fully of the opinion, Tess, that this is in the Mind Flayer. Maybe like almost like a hub, like a home base, you know what I mean? Almost like if the Mind Flayer attaches to some area to like charge up, essentially, kind of like how we see Vecna in the Creel House attic attached to his vines. Like this could be the bait, like the home of the Mind Flayer, essentially, wherever it's parked. I think that's what it is, though. It's like it's pouch almost. I think that's kind of where they are. Maybe the mouth, maybe the brain, maybe this is inside the brain of the Mind Flayer. But I definitely think the texture of the spire kind of does look like teeth. So it could be the Mind Flayer's mouth, essentially. And so yeah, and if you want to get real crazy, Vecna could be collecting these kids to power up the Mind Flayer, to almost act as a new host. And he doesn't even know that he's about to be killed off. The Mind Flayer is going to say, screw you, Henry. I need these kids to power me up. It'd be pretty crazy, but a lot of possibilities here. I think that the Mind Flayer's mouth is probably the best bet, though, in my opinion. We've got a couple more here. Do I think there'll be any new monsters? I would love to see a demo dragon, a demo tiger. I would love to see, what's it called? A Thessal Hydra. All of these things I think would be really, really cool. Have I seen new Percy Jackson episodes? I've seen Ep 1. I have not seen episode 2 yet. Glad y'all won the SEC, but Roll Tide? Get out of here now. I'm glad that Georgia won the SEC as well, but no Roll Tide for me. Klaus is a great movie. I want to watch this. It's on my list of Christmas movies to watch. I might watch that tonight. I might get crazy. I've heard great things. Do you plan on watching the new? Yeah, anything from the world of Cobra Kai, I will always watch. Anything from Squid Game, anything. I'm always going to watch those shows. I hope we get news on a Cobra Kai spinoff next year. Hello, Sean. Welcome in. Good to see you here as always. Sadie Sink role in Spider-Man ? I've heard it could be Jean Grey. I'm lobbying for that. I think it should be Grey's Jean Grey. Apologies for the train outside if you guys can hear it over the mic. I would love to see her as Jean Grey because we're talking longevity in the MCU. I want her around. I want her to be in a role that's going to put her in the best position to show off how great of an actress she is. How she fits into a Spider-Man movie if she's Jean Grey. I know she's in one of the Avengers. I think Secret Wars or maybe Doomsday, maybe Secret Wars. I see that if she's Jean Grey, but why in a Spider-Man movie? That's the question that I just don't know the answer to. So we'll see. I think that's my personal pick. It always has been. If that's not the case and we're going just Spider-Man route, I think she'd be a great Gwen Stacy. Third on that list, I'd say Mayday Parker, which would be, in this case, daughter of Toby and Kirsten Dunst's Peter and MJ. I think that could be a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm here for that. I am here for that all day. I really want to know. I wonder if they're going to reveal her identity in the Brand New Day trailer. And speaking of the Brand New Day trailer, is that going to come out this year as well? We know we're getting a Doomsday trailer. Are we getting a Brand New Day trailer too? We'll see. By the way, 594 people in here now. Thank you guys for being here. Been going for an hour 20. If you're just now joining, welcome. Glad to see you here. Hit that like button. Helps out tremendously. Super Chat's the way to guarantee that I get to your question, comment, or concern. All right. Super chat here. Thank you so much. It says, no superhumans can live. Elle lost her powers and got them back. Long as that power exists or potentially exists, someone will try to exploit it. 1, 8, 11. Terry Ives all have abilities. Those stories have to be resolved. You make a compelling argument here. I definitely think 1 is dead. I think 11 is dead. So by that logic, 8 also probably dead. Will Terry Ives die? Will we see Terry Ives again? I don't even know. They might not even show her again. But at the same time, I said the same thing about Kale for years, and then they finally brought her back. So I think we could see Terry Ives in this final season after all. You make a really great point here. And to add to this, does this include Will? He's technically a part of this hive mind now, and he's channeled powers. Is he directly associated with this? Or are we just talking, with 11 specifically and 8? Those two don't have the hive mind connection. They have powers elsewhere, whereas actually 1 got powers similarly in a sense, but one is a special case. 1 is a special case because of his history with the Mind Flayer. If we go into the play. Well, I'm just interested to see, because you do make a good point here. It'd make a lot of sense on paper to say, hey, we have to kill all the characters with powers because they can't live in this world. They're not normal. They're not of this world. If we want to get rid of all the supernatural elements, they have to go too. I totally see where you're coming from with that point. But I am intrigued, what they actually end up doing with that. It'll be quite fascinating, in my opinion. And Terry Ives, that's the question. That's a really good question. I'm okay. I'm down to see a lot of the OG characters. Give me Flo, the secretary of the Hawkins Police Department. Oh man, no, great point though. Great point though. Thank you for the super chat. Will we get that dragon reference that Will painted? I'm losing hope in that one being likely, just because I feel like they would have done it by now. I think that in retrospect, that might have just been for Mike. That might have been more about Mike and him being the leader and the dragon being representative of just forces of evil in general, right? So only time will tell, obviously, but I feel like that painting more so serves to show, hey, Mike is going to be the leader, the heart he's always meant to be, and we've seen him assume that role this season so far. Cobra Kai Hawk says, what's your favorite location on the show? Mine is Starcourt Mall. Just the colors and vibes on that place are special. Very good point. It's hard to argue against that, man. I think that Starcourt Mall is special. You've got the theater, you got Scoops Ahoy, you got a lot of cool stuff going there. If I were to give you a favorite location that's not Starcourt Mall, I might say Hopper's Cabin. I like the isolation. I like the out in the woods feel. Some great moments happen there. And now you've got like a direct access port to the tunnels out in the back shed. Like there's a lot of cool stuff. So Hopper's Cabin is in the conversation. I'll say that if we get more iconic moments here in the back half of the season, that WSQK radio station's certainly in the conversation as well. I mean, that's just a really cool new spot. You think they've done enough. They've already gone to a lot of cool locations. Well, they introduced WSQK, and just like that, boom, we're right back in it. So very cool to think this season gets new iconic locations each season, right? Season 4 was the Creel House. Season 3 was Starcourt. And then you got the freaking WSQK radio station here. So, I'd say if I had to pick one, I probably would go Starcourt as well. But man, do I love what we've gotten from the WSQK radio station. Karen says, I think Max is going to try to wake up, and Vecna sends the Demogorgons to the hospital to kill Max. If you see me doing this, it's because my nose is messing with me, by the way. I think Max is going to try and wake up Vecna. Sends the Demogorgons to the hospital to kill Max. Yeah, I would say the reason those demos are at the hospital is definitely because it's probably happening during Escape from Camazotz, and in Henry's mind prison, Max and Holly are trying to escape. And so what do? You send something after the physical body. And so I think we're going to get sort of a sequence where we see Lucas running around the hospital with Max's limp body and Demos chasing after. And then in the mind of Henry in Camazotz, we see Max running from someone or something through these memories trying to get out. I think that's going to be sick. I cannot wait to see that whole thing go down. I'm with you here. Cobra Kai Hawk says, if you could bring back one of the characters that died, who would it be? 1,000,000% Eddie, just the energy he brings to the show, the performance by Joseph Quinn, the dynamic he has with Dustin, with Steve. It's unmatched. I think the Duffers themselves wish they probably kept him on because of Joseph Quinn's stardom, Camso's period, but also just the dynamic he brought to the show. Of course, his sacrifice was very powerful. It was probably beneficial to Dustin as a character in his arc. But I, of course, wish that we still could see more of that and more of Eddie with the gang this season. He just added such a fun dynamic. So Eddie all day for me. All day, no question. Super Chat here says, I think that the thing Will, Mike, Joyce are looking at from the magazine photo is a shadow coming out from the gate. Could you also get Cam's opinion too? Cam, I actually need your help here.
Yeah.
I've drawn a blank often on streams. I don't understand.
What's good?
It says I actually don't know. Will, Mike, and Joyce are looking at something from a magazine photo. It's a shadow coming out from the gate. Could you get Cam's opinion on it too?
I have no idea what they're talking about.
I've drawn a blank. I have, and I probably know exactly what you're talking about. Sometimes it just happens on stream. I've drawn a blank. Is this?
Well, it's not what they're not doing something in volume 1. It seems like they're talking about a photo from a magazine where it looks like Mike, Will, and Joyce.
Oh, thank you. I sometimes reading things is hard for me. Yeah.
Do you know what they're talking about now?
Yes, I do.
Oh,
Thank you. I need a little help sometimes.
Do you want to show it to me so that I can?
Yep. So there was a magazine. I read that as.
Holy hell.
Yeah, I read that as they were looking at a magazine. No, there's an image of them. Here it is. Thank you for the clarity. This image. It's the three of them. I'll show it right here. It's the three of them, and they're clearly in the magazine with a bunch of dead soldiers around, and they're all looking up. Joyce looks horrified. I kind of just think I think this could potentially be the explosion in the sky making its way to the right side up because of the red behind Will.
You think the explosion's going to happen that quick?
Maybe.
Interesting.
Maybe not. It could also just be Vecna pulling back up on their ass.
Possibly.
It could be the gate closing off. Like there's a lot of possibilities. They're probably looking over at that gate, if I had to guess. Over at that gate. That's the only. So something coming out of that gate. It could be the gate closing off, sealing itself off. One of those two. Apologies for me trying to get to the question. Sometimes I get a little. Reading it's difficult sometimes. That's where I'm at with that though. Super Chat here says 11 can go into mind since Henry's mind is where Max and Holly is. I think she's going to go into his mind and say that is wild. Yeah. Could you imagine a little showdown mentally yet again? We've already seen her in like his mindscape in season 4. Going back would be nuts. Yeah. I could see it. Maybe that's why she's getting in the bathtub. You know what I'm saying? Her talking to Mike. She's like, hey, this isn't like one of your campaigns. You can't write the ending this time. And then she goes into the tub. Maybe that is what she's doing, trying to get into Camazotz. Now, I do know that they've established that she's tried to find, I think she said Holly, and she couldn't. It's because she's behind that wall. We'll see what they do with all that. Maybe that explosion in the sky dissolves that wall. Like there's so many little theories like that. We just got to find out the little nuances and how they're going to pull it off. But the possibilities are endless. It's exciting for sure. Tess says theory floating around. Crit hit in D&D is 20, right? Will is referred to as another Vecna, or 1. 1 plus 8 plus 11 equals 20. Final battle against Vecna, these three. Could be the case. I've seen that going around as well. And honestly, I don't know how I feel about this because I've always said I don't really want to see like a big superhero team up versus Vecna. I've always appreciated Stranger Things for like the underdog mentality and like we're gonna outsmart you, not out physical you. I don't know if I want to see like the three of them fighting Vecna personally. Again, if they pull it off and make it epic as hell, sure, why not? But to me, it's always been 11 and Vecna. I want to see those two going at it. I know Will is now directly intertwined with that, but Kali also being there, like a 3-on-1, it seems like we're going, hey, the full Avengers Endgame route where it's like Thor, Cap, Iron Man, the Trinity, right? They're fighting Thanos. I don't know if I need to see that. I don't know. So I've seen it. I don't hate it, but I also want it to feel earned. And if they are going to do that, they need to give Kali a lot of screen time and make her a little more compelling before she just pulls up and helps take down Vecna. So we'll see. It's a fun theory for sure, but maybe it's one that I don't necessarily fully want to see. What if Terry Ives has been in Camazotz? Interesting theory. Yeah. Could we see her again? Would that make sense for her to be stuck inside of sort of Henry's mind prison again? Wow. I mean, it's compelling for sure. That would be one hell of a retcon. I mean, they're going to have some fun with it. I think that they're going to have the big reveals, but they're also going to have little things like this. And that, like, are we going to see her or not? I asked earlier, are we going to see Terry Ives again or not? Well, they brought back Kali, so seemingly anything's possible. I wouldn't hate this if that's the case. Wouldn't hate it. Hello there, welcome in. Anybody know when Wave 2 Funko Pops trailing is dropping? No clue, but I've seen they're doing a Mr. What's It, a Max, and I think a couple other. I think we'll probably get a Holly the Heroic if I had to guess, but I don't know when those are going to drop. I hope sooner rather than later because I want to get them. I have on the way, I have the Hot Topic exclusive Dustin beat up. I just got Jonathan and Dustin in the mail the other day. All right. What's good? Welcome. Welcome. Good to see you here. All right. Do you think... No, I already answered that one, actually. Do we really think they're going to drop the Doomsday trailer publicly? I certainly hope so, and I think they are. I think they really understand the assignment that they have to get the hype going way in advance, and I think that's what they're going to end up doing. They're going to drop it publicly that far in advance, excuse me. It's going to be nuts, truly. It's going to be an event. Top 3 movies with the biggest plot twist, in your opinion, plot twist in a good way. Saw is one that comes to mind immediately. The Prestige comes to mind, and I'll go with The Departed has a pretty big twist, sort of. Avatar haters rise up. Let's be honest, I am an Avatar hater. I hate to say it, not really. I'm not an Avatar guy. Let's see, the Massacre at Hawkins Lab on steroids. That's what I'm kind of thinking. I'm also thinking maybe because it is, the last episode of the volume, it's going to have a bigger cliffhanger. And so we're going to get crazy reveals, lore drops, retcons, etc., etc. But we're also going to get maybe epic moments. I'm not opposed to this, and I kind of subscribe to it as well. I think that I'm with you. Like I said earlier in the stream, that was the craziest cliffhanger. Maybe this is going to be even wilder, right? Sorcerer had a decent cliffhanger. It's not like something that we need, like I want to see what happens next, but it's not something that like I'm dying to see tomorrow, if that makes sense. Like I obviously am, but what I mean by that is it's not like, oh my gosh, what happened to Will? Like he's able to channel Vector's powers. Boom. At the end of Ep 7 of season 4, I'm like, what the hell just happened? So no, I think so. I think you're onto something here. I think it's going to be bonkers, to quote Jamie Campbell Bower. I do think the Mind Flayer is pulling the strings. I definitely think so. Purple Rain by Prince will be fire. Pretty much any Prince song that's a big one will be fire. I want to hear what's it called? Let's Go Crazy, Let's Get Crazy. Well, that song is probably the one that I've listened to the most in my life by him. I'm not a huge Prince fan, but I know that's also one of his most popular songs. One of the actors, Gayton, I believe, described this season in one word as traitor. What do you think he's talking about? Ooh, he could be talking about Will in a sense, where Will is, not of his own accord, right? He's taken over by Vecna and then, in a sense, betrays them. That would be wild. That could be what he's referring to. That's probably what I would guess if he's saying that right now. Who do you think will die in OBX5? I don't think anyone will die. I think the big death already happened, and I think that all the main pose are going to live. I think the big death was the end of 4, and then they're all going to get out and live to tell the tale. So I think that was the big death, and it was gutsy. A lot of shows don't kill characters like that. They killed a main character in Ep 4, or at season 4, excuse me. I think that they're all probably going to make it out, or they all die. That would be nuts. I think Sarah Cameron is fully safe, given she's literally pregnant.
Oh my God, I forgot she's pregnant.
Yeah, she is. She is. It's going to be crazy. I can't wait. They need to recreate the season 2 poster with all the kids on bikes looking at the Mind Flayer when it comes to the real world. They could definitely do some sort of poster like that. And after this show is all said and done, I'd be okay with that, certainly. Super Chat here says, if Henry was hooked to a vine as a boy, who pulled it out? And Brenner's father, who pulled it out of him? Holly? And did Will consume the 3 demos? Yeah, this is all great questions. I really think, with regard to Henry as a boy, I haven't visually seen the play. I've just read about it, so I'm aware of him having, I think it was a 12-hour encounter with the Mind Flayer. The little details of that are a little lost on me because I haven't seen the play visualized right in person. I've just read about it. I do wonder what they'll take from the first Shadow and directly sort of reshoot to put into the play to give us, the audience, more context. I wonder if they'll go down that path or not. Yeah. Did Will consume the 3 demos at the end? I think it's more, my take on it, at least, would probably be it's still maybe benefiting Vecna, because it's not like they're Will's powers, it's Vecna's powers, and he just have like renting them out for a little, you know what I mean? So does that go back to the person whose powers are originating from? Like, I think so. I think that yes, Will physically killed those Demogorgons, but he wasn't using his own powers. I would like to believe that just strengthened Vecna still. That could be a reveal that happens too, where yes, Will's able to use these powers, but every time he does, it actually just makes Vecna stronger. That would be a nuts, and that'd be a way for him to not be able to use them later on. Could be cool. Could be cool. We'll see. Water break. I have a water on hand as well. Interesting, though. You pose a question, and see, this is the thing. With 4 episodes left, I think they have a lot to answer still, so I hope that it doesn't feel rushed. I don't think it will, but they do have a lot to sort of answer for the fans still. Tess says, how do you think time travel will be implemented? With hints to Einstein, Rosenberg, etc. Yeah, I mean, they've certainly sort of opened the door for that. I mean, literally, Holly asks Max, like time travel with regard to Max going through all these old memories of Henry. So time travel is, I mean, Wrinkle in Time. You got that. You got Falling Down the Rabbit Hole, the House in Wonderland. You've got the Wormhole / Einstein Rosenberg. Something's going on. I don't know how hardcore they want to go with it, but with Ep7 being called the Bridge and Einstein and Rosenberg is being talked about, kind of seems like they could play around with different dimensions to a certain extent. You know, I don't think this show, like, we're going to see characters running around to different dimensions or anything that crazy, like dimension hopping. But you never know. I mean, again, anything's possible. How wild do they want to get with it is the question I ask. I think with Einstein Rosenberg's, it might be implemented because we know that the Mind Flayer has sort of conquered dimensions forever, right? He's this being who views himself as superior to all, and he conquers species from different planets and places that he views as inferior. And so maybe that's how this concept can come in. Like, maybe the Mind Flayer's work is almost complete as he's collecting these kids, and then he's able to like take over Earth in his mind, or Hawkins, and then he's gonna like try and go to another dimension via a bridge, and that could be how it comes into play. Just a theory I have, because I don't know how else they'd incorporate it. I mean, I don't think that our main characters can create one of these. It would have to be something almost pre-existing. Perhaps this is the mode of transportation in which the Mind Flayer got to Hawkins and created this little upside down space. I don't know. Now we're getting into some crazy lore and crazy potential situations or what ifs. But I think it's all going to be answered. And that's the fun of it, right? We can theorize for the next 15 days, but they're going to answer for sure. And I think we'll have the answer by the finale. All right. Great super chat here says, how will Lucas make it out of the elevator? Who is Elle's dad? Do you think Pop will return? I'll go in reverse order. I don't think Pop will return. I think he's gone. I don't even think we'll see Dr. Brenner back. I think that character is donezo. You know, I wipe my hands at this madness. I think he's probably done. Who is Elle's dad? I think that someone impregnated Terry Ives. We don't know who. We might never know who. I do think that they'll get into genetically or you know, DNA wise, that there was potential. I talked about this a lot. Blood transfusion involving maybe Henry, and that's how she's strong as she is. Something like that could be introduced. Regarding the first part, though, how will Lucas make it out of the elevator? I think he's just going to haul ass. I mean, I put the little shots together. So he's in the elevator with Max and with a little like radio playing, running up that hill, and demo dogs are chasing at him. I think he's going to get that door closed just in time, and then he's going down, and they're going to make their way down the staircase or the elevator shaft. And he's going to get out, and he's going to be hiding in the basement, and they're going to crawl through the basement. And I think Vicky is going to be with them. So Vicky will be right there with them. She knows the lay of the land of the hospital, guiding them around. But I think he's going to get down the elevator. I don't think he's going up. I think he's going down to like a basement or maybe to an upper floor. But that door's going to close just in time. It reminds me of, I always reference National Treasure. There's a shot where Nick Cage has Ben Gates has the declaration, and he's holding it in front of him, and like they're charging at him, shooting at him, shooting the glass, and then the door's closed. I think it'll be something similar to that, where like, you know, the door's going to dent, but we're going to see them get down the elevator just in time. Let's do a speed round here in the regular chat real quick. They're making Dr. K look related in some way to Papa. I agree. It's almost uncanny in a sense. So something's probably going down there. Am I going to make a Vault 2 predictions vid? Absolutely. I'll do final predictions, probably a final death predictions. We're still 15 days away, so I'm going to wait a little on that. But as we get closer, I will definitely be doing more Volume 2 content. Don't forget the tentacle monster still in the lab. Yeah, there's a lots going on. Are they filming for OBX right now? They are. They've been filming for a while. I think they started filming in like June or something. It's been going on for quite some time now. So yeah, they're filming, and I believe they're going to try and get that out in June or July of this upcoming year. So yes, we're getting a new season of Outer Banks next year. Hell yeah. P4L. Let's see. Looking through the chat here. The Doomsday teaser, I think it's going to come out next week, leading up to Avatar. Who else is seeing the finale in theaters? I'm not, but who is? Let me know who is. Okay. Stranger Things hot takes reaction. I could redo that. I think I've done that in the past, but that could be fun to do, especially once the show ends or leading up to. Or maybe I should wait for the show to end to do that one. That could be fun. Let's talk about how for 3 years, social media said Stranger Things 5 will flop and no one cares. It's taking too long, blah, blah, blah. Then its viewership sets records again. Yeah, 100%. I agree. And I said this all along, this would happen. You and I both talked about this, and that's certainly what's happening. Everyone was like, it's taking too long. Who cares? No one cares anymore. I've seen multiple people say that publicly online. No one cares about this show. The kids are too old. It's unrealistic, blah, blah, blah. And they've been talking about the show endlessly online. I said it would happen. I said it multiple times online that would happen, and it's been happening. And that just shows the power of Stranger Things. But it is interesting. People were like trying to ride the negative hate wave of the show, and they're now on like the positive side and just praising it and talking about it. So it's interesting how that works. That's just social media for you. I just spilt a little on my phone, but we should be chilling. We need a pro shot of Stranger Things Foreshadow. 100% agree. I think they need to put that on Netflix ASAP. So I agree with that. Another super chat here. Do you think 11 fighting through the debris in the trailer is her going in Camazotz to save Max and Holly? Maybe Holly escapes and tells Elle where Max is. It could be. Like maybe the wall finally thins, and I have the opinion that Camazotz is behind that wall because it is just part of like Dimension X or Henry's mind. So that could be her getting through to there. It could also just be after that explosion in the sky overhead of Hawkins' lab, we see rubble and oh my gosh, breaking news, Cam. Hollywood Reporter, look me in the eyes. Do you want to be on camera for your reaction? Come here.
Turn your phone away from me.
Okay.
Then. What is it?
I'm going to put this away.
Did someone die?
Don't read my phone. Jennifer Lawrence and Josh Hutcherson will return in Hunger Games Sunrise on the Will. Confirmed by Hollywood Reporter. I knew you'd be excited. What the hell was that?
What just happened? Oh my god.
What was that?
Didn't he jump off his cat tree and ran away?
Our cat tree just fell over?
Are you okay?
I literally thought someone just broke in. I was Is someone at the door? Cam? That was spooky. And it was all on camera too, with 391 people in here watching. So that news joke, that cat tree over there that is on just fell over, and now he's gone. I don't know. There's a Demogorgon here to get me. Could you imagine if the light started flickering? What if my light went out right now? Oh my god.
There's no package or anything. I don't know what he heard.
That'd be spooky. That would be spooky.
I didn't make a noise when I dropped down, did I?
I don't know. Maybe he just jumped and it moved.
Weird.
What do you think though? That's hype, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, to answer this question though, again, I am of the opinion that we could, like, there's two possibilities here, because when we see that explosion in the sky, right, it's going over to Hopper, it's hitting the wall, and Hopper's right next to a church. And then when Elle's sort of moving through debris, we see what looks like a top, like the cross from a church sort of next to her. So that could be where she is, and that could be the rubble she's working her way through, because it could just be total destruction at that point. But I like that theory though, that she's, you know, when she's sifting through all this rubble, she's actually trying to get to Camazotz. I like that. Super Chat here says, maybe the final battle can take place at the buyer's old home. End it where it started. If not, then it would have to be the lab. Yeah, there's going to be so much time spent at the lab. I think we spend a lot of time at the lab in the first half of Volume 2. And then I think with 7 and 8, A lot of it will be at the lab as well, but maybe a good chunk of it is also not the Creel House, but in the right side up, potentially at the radio station. But yeah, I think going back to the locations like the lab, it's an iconic one from the beginning of the show. Literally, the first location we see in Hawkins is the lab. So I think that would be a lot of fun, and I think it's probably an essential, honestly.
Hey, buddy.
Is he all right?
Are you okay, babe?
Our cat is freaking.
What happened?
Super Chat here says, where did you get the Steve plaque behind you? I need it. So all this art right here is done by Adams Artbox. You can find him on Instagram at Adams Artbox. He does incredible work, sort of watercolor paintings for all sorts of fandoms. I've got Jaws. I've got Spidey, the Raimi trilogy. I have an Iron Man right here. And then I got a bunch of Stranger Things ones all up here as well. He does tons of Stranger Things ones. He did the moment from season 3 where Billy dies, and you got the Mind Flayer with fireworks going off. He's got, Master of Puppets. He's got these. I have a Hopper from season 3. I have Neverending Story right here, Dustin. He's got multiple 11s. He's got Eddie's. He's got Eddie's guitar.
I don't know what happened. He's like spooked and like still running from me.
Oh, I'm sure he's fine. Weird, but hey, buddy, it's okay. You good, buddy? You all right, Indy? Beautiful creature. Hey, bud. You okay?
Hi.
Maybe he's just freaking to freak. Who knows? Who knows? Hey, buddy. Yes. So all the art I have with the white background and then it looks like a watercolor of sorts is done by Adams Artbox. Go follow him on Instagram. Get some stuff and tell him I sent him your way. Be sure to. He's got some season 5 stuff cooking. I've been DMing him. I don't know what that entails, but he says he's got ideas. He's got ideas. That's all I know. That's all I need to hear. Cobra Alkin, another super chat, says, do you think you could take on a Demogorgon? Honestly, yeah. I think so. I think I could take on a Demogorgon. I mean, Karen messed one up with a wine bottle. If you get me fired up, like I'm talking during a Georgia football game and you put like a bat in my hand or an axe, I think I could take one on. I might take some damage too. I'm not going down without a fight though. I could easily take a limb and, I think I could do it. I think it would be a decent fight if I'm angry, Great question though, by the way. That's fun. Your escape pod episode was great. I support you. Well, thank you. Yeah, we had a lot of fun on that. We've been on there before. We went on there this time. It was a Patreon exclusive up for them. It was lots of fun. In the Hot Ones interview with the main boys from Stranger Things, Finn Wolfhard jokingly said Dustin will die, which I think means Dustin won't die. They wouldn't have let him say it if it was true. Yeah, true. But also at the same time, there is an interview clip where Mark Ruffalo's like, wait, talking about Infinity War, he's like, wait till you see this one, everyone dies. And like everyone actually did die essentially. But it's so ridiculous in the moment. You're like, oh, there's no way he would say it. So you never know. You never know. How do you think Karen and Ted get out of the hospital since the Demodogs will be attacking? You make a great point. With them both being in the hospital with the Demodogs, that could be where Ted does actually die. Because I do think Ted needs to die personally. I don't know if I want that, but I just think some people do have to die in this world, in this city, in this town of Hawkins. And so, yeah, I'm of the opinion that he could go. I don't know if they're going to get out because I do think the demos are going to be on a mission for Max and Lucas. They might not be worried about everyone else. Okay, keeping on through the chat here. Definitely, parents being in high school with Henry will likely be addressed in Vol 2. I think certainly, man, definitely will. It'll be cool to see more of those flashbacks as well. I didn't get tickets for the final theaters because I'm just going to watch it at home. Love the It's Your Grandma. Great blooper. Maybe the funniest blooper from all of Stranger Things, to be honest with you. Had a lot of fun on the trip out to California. Very, very cool to go to the Academy Museum. They had the Jaws exhibition there. I posted some pictures on Instagram. My Instagram is linked down below. It's at Filmstocked. Posted some pictures from there. It was quite a lot of fun. I will definitely be reacting to Tales from 85 and doing all sorts of Tales from 85 content next year, so stay tuned for that. Will I review Andor when I watch it? Probably not, but I definitely intend to watch that and catch up at some point. I look forward to it. I enjoy season 1. I've just been waiting for the right time to watch season 2. I love the new posters they made. If you're talking about like the Butcher Billy ones, those are awesome. All those posters are sick. Big fan. Hey, buddy. He's a good boy. It's almost been 2 hours, I just realized, so we'll probably go a little longer and wrap it up here. So if you want to guarantee I get to your question, comment, concern, fire off your super chat. Ohio State on top. Trust. We winning the Natty. Well, you couldn't win the Big Ten, so we'll see. Sorry, I had to. All right. Patriots Super Bowl down. There you go. We'll see. The show will end on November 6th, but when? 1959, 1983, 1987? You make an interesting point here. Will we see moments from all three of those days on November 6th, 1987? That's very interesting. Very interesting to see. We shall see. Hi, Chris. You said after season 4 that even though you love Max, you think it would have been better if she stayed dead. Do you still stand by that, or do you think her season 5 storyline is better? I think what they've done with her shows that it was probably the right move to keep her around because of how important she's with Holly and with Camazotz. I think that they're using her to explore a lot of Henry's past, which is going to add more depth to Vecna and be pivotal to some major reveals in the back half. So I kind of understand why they kept her around now. I get it. I might see the vision. Do you think Stranger Things season 4 holds up? I've been hearing a lot of people on the internet say it doesn't, and now it's being considered as one of the weaker seasons. No, I think it totally holds up. I just rewatched it recently. I think it's still, thus far, the most epic in scale, the grandest we've seen the show. It furthers the lore more than any other season. Yes, the episodes are very long at times, but no, I think that it's got some of the best moments in the entire show. I think it certainly holds up. Matt's in here. Shout out, Matt. Good to see you in here. I am very ready for Vol 2 and Christmas. It's going to be a whirlwind of a week yet again, just like Thanksgiving week was, but I cannot wait. Cannot wait. By the way, before we end the stream, I will say, hold on, favorite song from season 5 of Stranger Things so far? I like Rockin' Robin. Can't go wrong with that. Thus far, I mean, I really like Mr. Sandman, Bring Me a Dream, because I love Back to the Future. That's obviously in Back to the Future when when Marty goes back to Hill Valley 1955 for the first time. It's great stuff. I will say I have something I'll say at the end of the stream that's a pretty cool opportunity that's coming up that I'm excited about. Cobra Kai Hawk says April's going to be wild. We're getting The Boys season 5, Invincible season 4, and Daredevil Born Again season 2, all episodes at the same time. Yeah, that's going to be nuts. I will probably... it's so hard for me. I've always struggled with covering week-to-week shows because it's just like, what do I do? I'm definitely going to make this video at some point, The Boys season 5 death predictions, like a tier list. I'll probably do a final video on The Boys season 5 and then rank the seasons, including Gen V. Invincible season 4, I won't cover it all on the channel. I'm kind of tapped out with Invincible, which I know is a bit of a hot take, but season 3, it frustrated me so much, and I can't justify watching that show weekly anymore. I might watch it all when it's all out, but it really irks me. And then Daredevil Born Again, I'll watch for sure, but we'll see how I go about covering all that. Super Chat here says, did you watch Percy Jackson yet? I've seen the first episode.
Lots of Percy Jackson fans in the chat.
Yes, go follow Cam on all her socials for her Percy Jackson coverage. She is at Cameron Silas on YouTube, is that correct?
I'm at Cameron Silas everywhere.
At Cameron Silas everywhere. So go find her on socials. Yeah, she's got a lot of coverage she's working on right now, editing. If you've heard any noises in the back, that's what it is. And yes, I've watched the first. I haven't watched the second episode yet, but I have seen the first episode. I enjoyed it. Tess says, what's on yours and Cam's Christmas wish list? I actually have some movies on there, surprisingly. Like I want to get like some 2025 movies on Blu-ray. I haven't bought a lot of physical media. Companies do send me some, which is I'm very blessed that happens. But I that is on my list. And
I recently started reading the Throne of Glass series, so I told Chris I want him to get me the book set.
Yep. So books and movies. Other stuff like household type stuff that's like kind of lame, respectfully. It's just like stuff you have to, probably need to upgrade, but stuff I don't want to buy. No, I want all the Stranger Things Funko Pops. That's something that I also have. It's something that I'm probably going to Christmas gift myself with is the ones I don't have. But nerdy stuff and then like logistical stuff. I might get a new microphone. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. A friend and I are seeing it in theaters for the community more than anything, and I think the atmosphere will feel similar to Endgame. It could, yeah. And that's awesome. And I know a lot of people have said that as well. And I'm like, that's great. I'm very happy for anyone who feels that way or with No Way Home. My take on it personally, again, is I have always sort of watched the show at home. And so, because it's deeply personal to me. And like, I love the show so much that like, as cool as it would be to see people like scream and go crazy for, a final moment, like I want to experience it like in the comfort of my own home for the first time, just because it's so special to me, if that makes sense. And I know that a lot of people are going to see it in theaters and have a blast, and I hope you guys do. But for me, it's just like that's just not the experience I want to have with the finale personally for the first time. And so that's what I'm going to do with it. But I'm sure there'll be crazy reactions online from theaters, and it'll be going wild. And that's awesome stuff, really. I'm not going to see it in theaters because it's only 2 days, and both days I'll be busy. But no, that is true. It could be very no round, but then again, I'm kind of like, I love the show, but I don't view it as that, I don't view it as like, oh, this, I want to see it on the big screen just for the hype. I don't know. That's just kind of where I'm at with it personally, but I know a lot of people are going to see it and have a great time. I think Lucas, Robin, and Mike are being targeted because why did Vecna send demos out for those three after leaving? What do you think? I think it's because they were all with kids. And so I think, Robin is with kids in the truck, Lucas is with kids in the tunnel, and then Mike is with these kids in the Mac Z. And so obviously Vecna's goal, the Mind Flayer's goal seemingly as well, is to collect these kids. And since they're all like the guardian with the kids, that's why the demos are sent after them. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. I don't think those three specifically are being targeted. I think it was just because, they're there and they're the people protecting these kids from the demos. And so that's why they got sent, these demos after them. But I will say it's interesting that Murray's with Robin as well, and we haven't seen him yet. And people brought that to my attention, and it's like, that's actually a valid point. We haven't seen Murray. We don't know if he's alive and well. He could be severely injured. We saw Robin get out of the truck. We haven't seen Murray. Is Murray gone? Is he taken? Is he dead? That's the real question there. You know what I mean? I'm interested. Indiana Hoosiers winning the Natty. We'll see. I think they could definitely play for one. But you guys know me. I'm a diehard Georgia fan, and then I have a real good belief, a real good feeling in them this year. And so if they meet in the Natty, may the best team win. Gavin with a banger to end the stream. Gavin's always coming in hot. Keep Watch Burning. Remember the Titans, Moneyball, Good Will Hunting. These are all in my top 10, I would say. And they've all been in my top 5 at one point. Look, I got to keep Remember the Titans. That movie means the world to me. It's one of my all-time faves. I've seen it many times. It's uplifting, inspiring. It is the football movie. It's the sports movie for me. It's childhood classic. So I'm keeping that. I'm watching Moneyball. Actually, I want to keep them all. Obviously, I love all these movies, and I would rank them like very highly all time. I think I might need to experience Good Will Hunting once, just for the inspiration alone, and then I guess burn Moneyball, which is sad. It makes me physically ill to say that out loud. So that's keep them all as the real answer, but that's what I would go with if I had to. Oh man, Gavin, you got me. Do you think the finale will be in the Rainbow Room? I don't, but you never know. I think we'll see maybe a little more of some of the memories from the Rainbow Room, but I think that probably is going to be it. Hey, Chris, I have a question. So when they interviewed Noah, they asked him, what episode are you most excited for fans to see? And he said 4 and 8. So what do you think is going to happen on episode? I think it's going to be, it's the finale. I think that most cast members would probably say that's the one they're most excited to see, just because it's the conclusion of the show. It's the episode the Duffers have said they're the most proud of. And so I kind of believe that's going to be the case, where everyone's going to say that because, it's going to be crazy as hell. That's really why I think they say it. So it's going to be the movie of it all. Then I think we're going to see some crazy stuff with Will. Of course, I think most cast members would probably say that's the one they're most excited for people to see. I can't wait for the Lego Creel House day one pickup for me. I might even make like a video out of it or something. It'd be fun to build on stream, but I don't know if I have the patience for that. We have to see. It takes a while for me to do Lego sets sometimes.
I think that's more enjoyable to do in the private of your own home.
That is valid. And then just make a video showing it after. Yeah. Maybe I could do a time lapse of building it, but on a stream, I feel like the pressure would be too high to build a Lego set on a stream. Oh, man. Am I going to go to filming locations for OBX? That would be fun. I'm not too far from where they filmed the show. That could actually be fun. Definitely excited for the final season of OBX. A Demogorgon did almost get me. That was crazy, by the way. They were catching up in the chat here. Yes, I think Dr. Owens is going to come back, certainly. Certainly. A couple super chats coming in here from Tess, it looks like. This one here says, husband, Jeff's theory wants your thoughts. Henry Creel redemption. Bad guy Vecna dies. Henry Creel lives to help defeat Mind Flayer, dies redeemed. Yeah, I could totally see that. It'd be like a Darth Vader type thing, which I referenced a little earlier, where, Henry was corrupted by this evil at a young age. And so currently Henry is maybe trapped in his mind, in his own mind, right? He's in Camazotz, and that's who we've seen walking around, chasing Max around Camazotz, and then Vecna is sort of the shell of what Henry was, and his body is decaying because the Mind Flayer has been using him as a host. I don't know how fully redeemed they want to go. I guess you could say he's redeemed in a sense, and I wouldn't hate it, honestly. But yeah, that would work for me, and, it goes to show, hey, Henry was a product of Brenner's abuse, of his encounter with the Mind Flayer, and he wasn't truly evil. He was corrupted by this evil. There could be some beauty in that, in a sense, and so I think there's certainly potential for it. And I would be open to it, but they'd have to really flesh it out and make it work. I wouldn't want it to feel unearned or rushed. And I think they would have to do a great job explaining that, because, yeah, it would be gutsy, right? Vecna is not a hero in the end, but helps to save the day. It would be gutsy for sure. So they've taken big swings already this season. They might want to continue doing that. So I like the theory, Jeff. I like it. Tess says, thanks for a banger live. Happy belated birthday. All love to you, Cam and Andy. Thank you so much, Tess. My birthday was November 29th. It was a fun one. I was editing a lot on it. It was still very fun, though. And thank you so much. Cam and Indy say hello. And it was a very fun live stream. On that note, I think we might close it out here. I think that's a good note to end on. Again, I was not able to get to every question, comment, or concern, unfortunately. I'll say Saturday, have a drink for me. Well, hey, happy 30th birthday. That's a great one to celebrate right there. But no, I think that's a good spot to end the stream, honestly. And I have lots of videos coming soon. I'm very excited about one where I'm reacting to your Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 2 theories and predictions. Supergirl trailer reaction drops tomorrow. Be on the lookout for that. Of course, I'll be covering the Volume 2 trailer, the Doomsday trailer. Lots of fun things to come here to the channel very, very soon. And then final thing, and I'm save this for the end, because if you guys are here, you're real ones. Tomorrow, officially confirmed, I will be doing an interview with a Stranger Things cast member, and I've done one recently with Emmanuel Boria. I won't say who, but I will say a Stranger Things cast member who is in the opening credits of Season 5. I'm pretty confident. That's all I'm going to say. Pretty cool stuff. Very, very excited for it. And it's coming to the channel next week. It'll be awesome. I'm excited. It'll be a very short interview, but pretty cool stuff. That's all I'm going to say. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you for joining the live. Thank you for watching on the replay. Of course, hit that like button. It helps out tremendously. And subscribe if you haven't. I'm looking forward to Vault 2, the road to Vault 2, and of course the finale. Be on the lookout for all that and more. But thank you guys so much. Final thing, go subscribe to Cam at Cameron Silas on YouTube. She's working hard at Percy Jackson content. Go show support to that. Exciting things coming to her channel soon. But that's going to do it. Thank you guys as always. And until next time, I'll see you on the other side of the upside down, or dare I say, tomorrow. Who knows when? All right. Peace, guys.